you should quit trying. You were too small, that you were too young. They tell you the chance is too slim, the world is too big, but you say how come? I'm ready to light a new fire, raise a new flag across a new sea. And if I'm ever the one in your way, then put your head down and run right through me. So why keep settling for so much less? Don't take what's given, just demand what's next. We're looking for an open door.
I honestly, guys, I don't know what I just witnessed. Oh my god, I can't believe the Bulls won this. The Bulls did not deserve to win this. They there is just no reason for the Bulls to be 1-1 right now. They should be 0-2 easily. And they would deserve that 0-2 record very, very much. Oh my god, what's going on, William? This team's not good for my health. It's not good for anybody's health, bro. This team is terrible. If you, oh my god, if you want to have stress, if you want to have anxiety, if you want to absolutely feel like amazing 1 second and then feel absolute despair in the next second, watch the Bulls. Because, oh my god. Bro, like, as a Bulls fan, this is like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe we won this. But as like just a basketball fan, bro, I'm witnessing this game. I'm just like, what in the hell are the Toronto Raptors doing? Like, what are you doing? There were so many blunders by the Raptors that the Bulls could have won this game like 5 times in the last minute. Like, the Raptors were just like, here's the game. It's on a silver platter. Here, take it. Go, just win. This is the W. We're shoving it in your mouth. Take it. And the Bulls were only able to tie it. Like, they legit were only able to tie this game in regulation. Like, I was just like, you have got to be kidding me, guys. Like, usually when an NBA team is like, hey, in the last minute, we're gonna commit like we're gonna commit multiple turnovers, and when we need to just get free throws, we're gonna foul your shooter 3 times in the last 30 seconds, and he's gonna be able to take, what is it, 7 free throws? Like, it's basically us saying, here's the game, and the Bulls only were able to tie it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, we didn't win it in regulation. And now I'm like, before OT started, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what are the Raptors doing, bro? Like, straight up, what are the Raptors doing? Like, that made no sense. And I was literally having an aneurysm just watching that game. Like, you've gotta be kidding me. And then Bulls are down by 4 with 39 seconds left in OT. DeRozan gets a quick bucket, which is like, what are you doing, Toronto? And then AC comes up with the biggest 2 plays of the game, with the steal on Siakam and that 3 that he hit in the corner for the game winner. It just was like the most unlikely outcome of this game. The Raptors had a 15-point lead, basically with 4 minutes left. They blew it, and then the Bulls were coming back. The Raptors were saying, here's the game, and DeRozan misses 3 free throws in the last 30 seconds that could have won the Bulls the game. Any one of them could have won the Bulls the game. And then AC is the one that gets the steal, which that's normal, but then he hits the game winner in regulation after the Raptors blow a 4-point lead with 39.4 seconds left. Like, what? that is like, I am living in like a simulation. That's not supposed to happen. None of what we just witnessed was supposed to happen tonight. And this is what we got. We got a win. The Bulls are 1-1, and they might have actually just saved their season, because if they started 0-2, I honestly think there might have been fires in Chicago tonight, because this Bulls team could not lose to this Raptors team, and they almost did. Like, they were this close to losing, and they almost did it. They almost convincingly did it. But we're here. We're 1-1. I guess that's all that matters now. But even NBA is not even updated fully yet. Okay, there we go. Jesus, man, this was just terrible. This was just honestly terrible. to witness as a basketball fan, but this was amazing if you're a Bulls fan, straight up. What's going on, Patrick? This game was a roller coaster. This is such a gift from the Raptors. This was straight up, the Raptors were like, we're Santa Claus, we're bringing you this entire game tonight to you. Like, it is right under the Christmas tree. You just have to unwrap it. You just have to just open it up. You have the win. And the Bulls couldn't do it in regulation, but we did it in overtime. So that's all that matters. Oh my god, bro. I am straight up just having like an aneurysm right now, because that should not have happened. Like, everything tonight should not have happened, but we can at least be smiling. If I'm just straight up right now, I feel terrible for Raptors fans, because holy hell, if you're a Raptors fan right now, you won that game in Minnesota that I thought you should not win. Like, you scored 97 points or something, and the Minnesota Timberwolves scored 94. That's not normal. You did not deserve that win against Minnesota. And then you are leading this game by 15 points with 4 minutes left to go, and you somehow blow it? And then not only that, you somehow... The Bulls get you into OT after you blow it and basically say, here's the game. They blow it, and you're up by 4 in OT, and then you still lose. Like, I would be freaking out right now if I was a Raptors fan. I'd just be like, trade everybody. Like, Masai Ujiri, you should be fired like into the sun right now. Like, I don't even know who the owner is for the Toronto Raptors. Just straight up, just like he needs to like basically donate $1 million to all his fans for what they just witnessed tonight. And if like, honestly, if I was a Raptors fan, I'd just be like, I'm not going to a home game after this. Like, that was straight up terrible from the Raptors. So thank you very much, Raptors players and the entire roster of the Raptors. Thank you very much for blowing this, because the Bulls did not deserve this one, and we got it. Oh my god, we won it. Thank you very much, and I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Best worst victory of the season already? That is actually a very good way to describe it. It is the best worst victory of the season. Hey, okay, what do you think the issue was with Zach today? Okay, look, man. Yeah, I'll go and just talk about Zach immediately, because what we're seeing right now from Zach is it's straight up unacceptable from him. I do think that Zach there is an issue with him, in terms of that there is some sort of injury. I think that in the game against Oklahoma City, I'll pull up the clip in a little bit here, but I think Zach, he went up for a layup and he basically got clotheslined, and he kind of landed awkward, and I think it is hurting his back. Now, that being said, Zach's out here playing, right? Like, Zach's out here, and he's out here and doing and playing this game. So to me, like, if he's out there, then he has to perform. Now, maybe it doesn't have to be, you know, like top of the line Zach LaVine, but he has to perform. And what we're seeing is not even like a role player right now from Zach. Like, he is straight up playing awful right now. And I'm very upset at him, because I'm the person that has defended him. I'm the person that has said that he's going to be leading this team in scoring. I said that this is the season that I think, if he's fully healthy, that he's going to show he's going to show everybody like he's the best player on this roster. And then DeRozan is very clearly the best player on this roster right now, especially if Zach's injured. But yeah, it's straight up like this is not good from Zach. This is straight up unacceptable from what we're seeing from Zach, and he deserves all the criticism right now. Like, straight up, he deserves all the criticism. The one thing that I will say that I appreciate from him is that, like, I guess he is sort of recognizing he just isn't right. And he is rebounding. Like, I see a concerted effort of him actually trying to rebound. And we saw in that fourth, he took some threes, which I understand the first three that he took in the fourth that people were not happy with, and I get that one. But the second one, when it was off an offensive rebound, I think he needs to take that, even if he's not 100%. And so I don't understand why people are upset with him with that. But he was just passing, really, honestly, in that fourth, and I appreciate that he's realizing that. And obviously he had the biggest pass of the game, which was to Caruso. So he needs to just do better. So if he can't score right now, and it straight up doesn't look like he can, including, like, he just looks like he doesn't have any sort of lift right now, then he needs to, if he's gonna play, he has to rework himself as a player. He has to be doing something different. I talked about him rebounding. I think he's doing a better job of rebounding in general, so I appreciate that. if he is not gonna be 100% on the offensive end, then he's got to be like a cutter. He's got to be used as a decoy. He's got to be used as like basically like as a passer, or just a guy that's setting hard screens, so for him to be effective on the offensive end. And then if anything, if Zach can't get to the rim right now and finish, which I don't really think he can, then he's got to make his threes, like in terms of just catch and shoot 3-point shooting. So I'm really upset with Zach right now. I even with the back injury, I think this is unacceptable from Zach. He's got to do better. By the way, I know everyone's like, oh my god, minus 23. Like I first off, I think Zach played awful tonight. I'm not saying like, oh, the box score doesn't mean anything. Like, no, the minus 23 I think is correct. The thing is that I don't trust the box score, or the you know, plus minus in the box score all the time, because if you actually look in this game against the Thunder for Zach, like I thought Zach played awful in this game, and yet he was the one positive in terms of plus minus from the Bulls that game. So it's like he had an awful game against OKC and he was +1. So I don't always trust this. So I feel like, you know, like -6 for Torrey Craig is not correct. He played a great game tonight. So yeah, Zach, I mean, I'm interested to see with Zach if he actually plays tomorrow. The Bulls play tomorrow against Detroit, and like it was extremely important the Bulls won this game, because if they didn't, then it's an OT situation. DeRozan played 41 minutes, Vucevic played 40, Kobe White played 40, Zach played 38. Like, straight up, the Bulls, I would not be shocked if the Bulls lost tomorrow, because they're just gonna be tired. So if the Bulls didn't win this one, then I honestly think we go 0-3 to start. So it was so important for the Bulls to win this game. But yeah, we'll see if actually Zach plays tomorrow, because he has not looked good. Straight up, he just has not looked good at all. And I'm hoping he figures it out, because this team is not going to go anywhere if Zach LaVine is not performing. And I think that goes for saying for like anybody of the big three or the mid three, people like to call them. So those guys got to perform, just straight up. They have to perform, and Zach is one of those guys. So yeah. Credit to LaVine for not trying to hear about that and trusting Caruso. I fully expect him to lay that into the Raptors. So I mean, like, look, if Zach had a wide open layup, then take the layup, right? But he wasn't open, because there were two guys coming at him and could have easily got the chase down block. So yeah, that I do credit Zach for understanding the situation a lot better than usual, than what we saw from in this game. Like Zach took some threes throughout the game that I was just like, I don't know what you're doing. So big credit to him in that last play, because obviously if he doesn't make the correct play, then we don't win this game. So yeah, big credit to him for that. But I mean, that's just one play. Like he had 38 minutes, and that, like, he had maybe 5 seconds of good basketball. That just can't happen. And look, this is coming from like the biggest Zach LaVine fan and biggest Zach LaVine defender. Okay, like I'm not a person that's like always just like looking to hate on Zach like a lot of people do. So I'm saying he has to be better, and I think he understands that too, that he has to be better. And we'll see how he does against the Pistons, if he actually does play or not. Caruso is our best player, Lamau, but not really. I mean, you could make an argument that Caruso is like the best role player in basketball. Like, I wouldn't be upset at that. He is very clearly the best perimeter defender, in my opinion. Like, I don't even think anyone's even close to him, honestly, in terms of perimeter defense right now. Like, it's straight up, it's him. In terms of that. And the big thing that I'm happy to see this with Caruso is that he's taking threes this season so far. Obviously hit the big three at the end, but like, I mean, that's 5 threes in this game, and then he took 4 threes in the other game. I mean, I understand he's not shooting the best, but he's got to shoot, right? I mean, especially if he's going to be playing all these minutes, and we need him out there on the floor. So if he's going to be, you know, out there on the floor, then I need him to shoot. And obviously he hit the biggest one of the century tonight. So this is like the best Alex Caruso, honestly, that we've seen on both ends of the court. I'd say, and I'm really happy to see that he's getting the recognition. So yeah, big props to Alex tonight, because it was him that changed the tide when the Bulls were down early in this game. Y'all remember that, when the Bulls got off to an 8-0 start down against the Raptors in the first couple of minutes of this game? Like, that seems like a century ago now, but it was him and Torrey Craig. They checked in, and they just straight up, they shut down the Raptors for a long time. The Raptors couldn't score for like over 7 minutes in that second half, and he was the leading force of it, alongside Torrey Craig, and then obviously Javon Carter helped as well. So yeah, I mean, this dude, in terms of like overall impact as a role player, right, he's probably the best in the game when he is fully healthy and he's knocking down his threes, right? Because his defense is literally the best perimeter defense in the game. So yeah, this is how much Alex Caruso means to a lot of people. Let's see. He was minus 39 at some point. He gets into his feelings way too often for my liking. I don't know if he was necessarily in his feelings in a sense, but I think Zach kind of understood, like, I'm having a poor night. I'm trying to do something for this squad, especially when the team was down, right? Like, I think he just always thinks that I have to do something, and I honestly think that he just needs to have like a mental reset of, like, you don't have to do everything, right? And he was trying to basically do everything in a few moments, like trying to hit the big three when he took that step back three at the top of the key, right? Like, he doesn't need to do that, especially when he's struggling. So like, he just needs to reset and think, okay, how can I get guys open on offense now if I just can't score and I can't for some reason. Like, it's very clear right now that with this back thing that his lift isn't there, and it makes sense, right? Because your back is connected to your legs. So if Zach's back is actually hurting him, then he's not going to jump as high, right? So it's on Zach to then figure out, okay, I need to hit my threes, my catch and shoot threes if I get open, but also I need to start making sure that, you know, how can I help guys get open looks, and how can I help run this offense, or how can I set a good screen to help a guy get open, or how can I just be a decoy, right? That's what Zach needs to figure out if he's not 100%, because right now it's not good enough from him. That'll be one, but I'm very concerned about this team going forward. Offense has been terrible. Look, man, I was sitting in my chair and I was just watching this offense, and I'm just like, this is just straight up unacceptable. And here's the biggest thing, okay? Like, the Bulls took 39 threes. I don't know the exact number in terms of the fourth when the fourth quarter was, sorry, all periods. We're not gonna be able to see it. So I don't know the exact number the Bulls had when it was that in the fourth quarter, but I honestly think their 3-point attempts are fine. Like, I have no issue with it. The problem is that no one's making them. And this obviously includes Zach. Oh, sorry, that's White. This includes Zach, and he's what? Like, Zach's 2 for 15 to start the season. So Zach can't make threes. Kobe White's 4 for, what is he? 4 for 16 to start the season. Patrick Williams barely played, and we're gonna talk about that, but he's 1 for 4, and so Patrick is, to start the season, he is 1 of 8, right? Caruso is 2 for 5, but like, you're just seeing that guys aren't hitting their threes, and obviously when your main 3-point shooter isn't hitting them, then it's a big concern. But my bigger concern about this was that you remember, you know, Wednesday night after the Bulls had that team meeting, and Vucevic was saying, I need more touches down low, and I need to, when I'm near the basket, I need to get the ball. Well, he got 15 shots tonight. A lot of them were like right at the rim, and he didn't convert. And this, to me, is the bigger issue. Like, the Bulls right now, they're not making shots in the paint. Like, I've been saying that this Bulls team needs to get to the paint, and they need to shoot threes, and they need to get to the free throw line, okay? Well, I actually thought that they've been trying to get to the paint a good, decent amount. They're just not hitting shots. I mean, look at Vucevic's shot chart here. He is straight up just missing shots at the rim. Like, I don't know how this happened from a 7-footer, and he was the one that just said, I need more shots. Like, I need more shots in the paint. I need more shots. I need more touches. Give it to me in the paint because I deserve these touches. And you just straight up missed it. And you were being guarded by smaller dudes tonight. Like, I don't get it. So it's honestly just like on everybody. Like, I mean, Zach, he missed 2 shots at the rim tonight. Like, let's see. Torrey Craig missed a shot. I mean, like, I think Kobe had some misses tonight, like right at the rim. Even DeRozan missed some like gimmies, in my opinion, before that fourth quarter. So I don't know what it is about this team, about that they just cannot, for the life of them, get to the rim right now and finish. Because that needs to change quickly. If this offense is actually gonna move forward. I've said it that, like, it's all about the first 3 quarters. Okay, it's about the first 3 quarters from the Bulls, where they have to. Sorry, I don't know why this keeps happening. the first 3 quarters for the Bulls, like, they have to be playing more modern and they have to be shooting the threes and getting to the paint. When it comes to the fourth quarter, like, let DeRozan ISO. Like, I'm fine with that, and I've said that before the season started. Like, when it comes fourth quarter, when the game slows down, yeah, let DeRozan ISO. Like, I'm fine with the mid-range shots at that point, but it's the first 3 quarters right now for the Bulls. They're getting shots in the paint, they're not converting, and then obviously they're not converting wide open 3-point looks right now. So that to me is the unfortunate key factor right now. I don't know why this thing keeps popping up. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, it might be this actually. So I don't know what it's going to take from this Bulls squad to kind of figure it out, but maybe, like, I'm hoping for a couple of things. I don't know if you guys have seen around the NBA, but there are a lot of guys, like a lot of well-known guys, like really good scorers. They're not shooting the ball well right now. I don't know what exactly it is. I know, like, Julius Randle had like an awful game in his first game. I think Jalen Brunson had like a better game tonight. I'm gonna actually look at that right now. But like Trae Young and DeJounte Murray in their first game, they just absolutely sucked. Like, I'm just hoping that it's like a timing thing right now for these guys, because, you know, they had basically a week off after the last preseason game, right? So that's kind of just like my cope of, like, okay, guys, like, maybe we just need to just kind of get back to normal. And that actually a better game from Julius Randle. Brunson had a really good game. Wait, actually, let's see what did Trae Young do? Yeah, Trae Young's 4 for 16. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, I'm seeing guys are just, they're not right. Like, Anthony Edwards, I think, shot like 6 of 25 in his first game or something like that. So, like, that's like my cope of, like, okay, guys, maybe just don't have the timing down right now. It is what it is. Just kind of like a rough start to the season. And I do think that maybe there's just some timing things going on. So why is the NBA bugging? So we'll see if that's actually the case or not moving forward. But yeah, but the guys, they gotta just do better at the rim, straight up. I mean, this is the Bull shot chart, and you just see just a bunch of red X's like right at the rim and like in the paint area. Just not good. Straight up not good, unfortunately. Torrey Craig looks like such a good pickup. Oh, he has been fantastic. I cannot believe the Bulls got him for the minimum. The Bulls got Torrey Craig for the minimum. The minimum. And he's been so important for this team so far. I'm just gonna say it now because it's been 2 games into the season, and I think it's necessary just to kind of say it. Torrey Craig needs to start. Straight up, he needs to start. And we'll talk about Pat in a second. But what does this game say about the Raptors? Couple of things, and I said this before in a couple of other streams, and even before, or even in the last stream, the Raptors on offense, they have problems. We saw last season that the Raptors, in terms of offense, they have problems. Okay, and they were ranked 28th in terms of 3-point shooting last season. They have offensive issues from last season, and then add on top of the fact they lost Fred VanVleet. So that's a 20-point per game scorer, or 18-point per game scorer, and is kind of like the leader of their team and like the engine of their offense, and they just straight up lost him, right? So there's that going on for the Raptors, like, and their offense clearly tonight, they absolutely sucked. I mean, if you look at the Raptors so far in 2 games, they have sucked on offense. Like, the Raptors and against Minnesota, they put up 97 points. Like, this was straight up disgustingly bad from this round of Raptors. Let's see it. Anthony Edwards is 8 of 27. Never mind, he shot better. But this is just terrible from the Raptors, and they made their threes in this game, but they just don't make shots. Straight up, like they struggle to make shots. So I think that shows you that the Raptors, there's a huge problem with their offense specifically. I think it's a lot of it is redundancy, right? You have Siakam, Barnes, and OG Anunoby, and they're all basically the same players with the same size, same type of game, and there's no diversity within their team. They have just very similar players with length. They're all 6'8", and they all play the same position. You're seeing spacing issues. You're seeing that the Raptors, they rely heavily on offensive rebounding and getting out in transition. So there's that part. And then I honestly think missing Fred VanVleet tonight played huge, because they just didn't have a dude that they can trust with the basketball to make decisions. Late game, right? They didn't know what to do at the end. We saw them make so many mistakes. We saw Scotty Barnes do that turnover on the inbound pass, right? That was a major mistake. We saw them Pascal Siakam committed an offensive foul, right? Like, that to me just shows you that there's a lot going on for the Raptors, and then why the Raptors fans, they were like, hey, we want to rebuild, because they don't trust this team, and this is the reason why. And this is the reason why I've said that I thought the Bulls in this season, they would be better than the Raptors because they lost Fred VanVleet. They were a 500 team last season, and they lost Fred VanVleet. The Bulls should be better, and the Bulls put up an absolute disgusting game tonight, but DeRozan came back and clutched it out. So this just shows you, I think, two terrible teams on offense, and the Bulls should be better, and hopefully they figure it out. But yeah, this is not good for the Raptors. And I said it earlier in the stream that if I was a Raptors fan right now, like, oh my god, I'd be so upset. I'd be saying, fire Masai Ujiri, fire everybody, just straight up. The players should be fine, like everything at this point. So the shooting coach hire hasn't changed much for the Bulls. I will say that if there's anything that the shooting coach has done, is that the guys look confident from 3-point range. That's a big step. I don't know why guys aren't hitting shots, and I do think that Levine not being 100% hurts in terms of 3-point shooting, right? I think that's a major problem for this team from the 3-point line. But I mean, Zach just got to be better straight up, even if he is injured. He just straight up has to be better. But I honestly think that the shooting coach, we'll see. Like, I'm not gonna make a conclusion after 2 games. I think that's pretty dumb. But after 25 games, if this is still the same things over and over again for the Bulls from the 3-point line, then yeah, I'll be upset. And then I'll say the shooting coach basically did nothing. But at the end of the day, what I have said consistently about this Bulls team is that it's like they can change their offense. Like they can change to try to be more modern, but they don't have the personnel. They just straight up don't. And in the end, the personnel is more important than the offensive coach or the offensive system run by the coach. So we'll see, because I do think that there are better shooters than what we have seen so far on this Bulls team so far. Like, straight up, I can't believe that Patrick Williams right now to start the season, he is 1 for 8 from 3-point line. Like that's ridiculous. Okay, we talked about Zach already. I mean, Zach is basically, he's 2 for 15 to start the season, and Kobe's like 4 for 16. Like these guys here, this is typically better from 3-point line for these specific guys. And Javon Carter is 1 for 6 to start the season. Like, it's typically better from these guys. But I have said that having DeRozan and having Vooch, 2 guys that I know aren't really willing to shoot the 3, it hurts. It hurts your offense, because they're guys that just aren't willing to always shoot it, and they take a good amount of shots. So we'll see how the Bulls do moving forward. Again, I'm not going to draw any conclusions after just 2 games, but they got to do better for sure. We should not want to. Oh, for sure, we should not have done it. We got hit by Space Jam aliens. Yeah. DeMar took upon himself. He absolutely did. Maybe perimeter defense is catching up to the offense. Maybe. I mean, maybe perimeter defense is catching up to the offense in a sense, but I think that's a little bit of a because I actually think the Bulls are getting a lot of wide open looks. Like, it's not like the Bulls are just like shooting contested threes constantly or chucking up a 3, in my opinion. I actually think that all their 3 so far, at least most of them, are like, they're good looks. They're open. Shoot it. And right now they're just not going in. So I have said, though, that I'd much rather play this way and lose than play what we played last season. And so far, like, I'm happy with the 3-point attempts. I'm just more upset about obviously not making 3s, but the Bulls aren't making anything right now. Like, they're not making shots in the paint. That to me is a more concerning thing, in my opinion. But we'll see if they can also fix that. And I don't think Vooch has a 4 for 15 night again, but that's also unacceptable by him, just straight up. Embarrassing loss for the Raptors for sure. Mid versus mid, Raps and Bulls. That is a great way to describe it. My 12th leg parlay on opening, and I picked all the winners except the Bulls and the Hawks. Oh my god, that sucks for you, Patrick. Did you actually get anything out of that, though? I don't exactly know how parlays work, but yeah. Great to see you. I was waiting for your live. What's going on, Zayover? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, Zayover. Great to see you. Or sorry, Zach seems to do crap this game. I mean, if you're just tuning in, I have addressed Zach, and I'll address it one more time. Straight up, this is unacceptable from Zach, and this is coming from the biggest Zach LaVine defender. I am the biggest Zach LaVine fan. I'm the biggest Zach LaVine defender. I have like protected Zach my entire life watching the Bulls. Okay. And this is straight up unacceptable from him. I do think that Zach is dealing with some sort of back issue. I'll pull up the clip in a little bit here. Actually, I'm just gonna pull it up now because I want to rewatch the last like 2 minutes from this game. I don't know why my computer keeps doing this, so I do apologize for whatever this is. But Zach, I think, got like clotheslined in that Thunder game, and I think that like he landed awkward, and I think it has led to his like his back issue. So look, that seems like that's what's happening right now with Zach. Now, I've said it though, like even though if Zach is actually not 100%, okay. One, let's see if he actually plays against the Pistons tomorrow, because the Bulls have a back-to-back in Detroit tomorrow after playing overtime. That's gonna suck. But if he is actually playing, then he needs to do better. He has to play better. He has to make better decisions, and he has to affect the game without his scoring. Or if he's like, the biggest thing right now, I think, is taking a hit is his finishing. And then obviously his 3-point shot just isn't there right now. So he needs to hit his catch and shoot threes, but then he also, on the offensive end, he needs to be used as a decoy. He's got to set good screens. He's got to look to find open players and not necessarily be looking always to try to finish at the basket. So yeah, there just needs to be better stuff from Zach moving forward if he's not 100%. Because look, we saw Zach at 100% in preseason. Like we know what the type of player he is, but through 2 games, through 8 quarters, this is unacceptable from him. Even if he is injured. So I need to see better from him moving forward. And I'm trying to find exactly where this all took place, and I'm losing where exactly it all happened. So give me 1 sec, because I'm trying to pull up the clip here that I think that Zach got clothesline, and it might be was it this play? You're gonna hear a noise. I do apologize. I can't like turn off the sound as quickly. Oh, actually, I could. Cool. This play I'm thinking about. Yeah, it's this play. So when you watch this, like this to me, Zach looks 100% here, and he pick and roll, quick first step, drives by him, and he just gets absolutely clotheslined, like here, and this to me is when I think that he hurt his back. He just straight up, and then he landed awkwardly like this. Like it's almost like he got like folded back. So that to me is where I think Zach got injured. So look, even if this the case, if he's playing, he's got to do better. He has to play better. And this is unacceptable from Zach so far. And for the Bulls to have any sort of success, I've said that he has to be a great player for this team. If this Bulls team is gonna have any sort of success this season, and right now we're not getting it, and we're somehow 1-1. So I hope that he figures it out moving forward here. Parts don't fit no matter how much AK is preaching continuity. A couple of bench pieces added ain't changing things. The main dudes don't fit. They just don't. It's sad, but it is what it is. No, I completely agree. I mean, look, I've said consistently that I don't think this team makes any sense. And I've been saying that I would trade DeRozan. I would trade Vucevic, right? But I mean, if anything, like if they trade Zach, then like they better be like making like a much better overall fit for a team. And if they're gonna actually like keep with DeRozan moving forward, which I actually think that could be a possibility, then like I think I need to see Vooch traded too if Zach's gonna be gone. Like everything on this team right now makes absolutely no sense in terms of just the offensive end. Defensively, I think this team is actually really solid. I understand that the OKC game happened, but I don't know what the Bulls are honestly supposed to do. They like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a legit crazy player, and I don't know if you guys saw, but the Thunder also won tonight against the Cavaliers. So I'm just telling you, like I said, I thought the Thunder were gonna make a humongous leap, and hey, look what's happening right now. They just beat the Cavaliers, who were the 4th seed in the East. But I actually think this team defensively, they're gonna be really, really good. And I said top 10 defense again. On offense, though, I am very concerned still in terms of making sure that they continue to play the correct way. I don't think we've seen enough fast break points from this Bulls team so far in the season. This just isn't enough. Like this is 14, I guess, and I'm gonna guess that the 3 from Caruso also was a fast break point, but who knows? Points off turnovers though for the Bulls, it actually looks really good. They got 23, but we gotta see them get out and run more and not play through the half court as much with all the pieces. And yeah, it still, even that doesn't make any sense. So the pieces make no sense on this team, unfortunately. DeMar Cruz put us on the back 100%. Bulls need a dominating point guard. I think a floor general would help. I do think a floor general would help, but I don't think it fixes everything. Like as much as Kobe has like improved, he also had some very poor decisions tonight, which kind of shows you he just isn't really a point guard. And I sincerely applaud Kobe for what he is doing. Like I'm very happy with his improvement, and he's done so much for this team. But like, yeah, I do agree that having a point guard or a floor general would help, but it doesn't fix everything. Like if I threw Lonzo Ball back out there, it doesn't fix everything. It truly doesn't. He helps a ton, but he doesn't fix everything. So this team, in my opinion, just the three of Levine, DeRozan, and Vucevic, those three make no sense. Like straight up, all three of those guys, they all operate in the same space. They all want to like at least most of them, including Zach, they want to shoot mid range, right? And all of them like want to have like specific touches. It just none of that makes sense. It's basically you're basically having a juggling act, and you can never ever get it right, and it doesn't make any sense to me. It straight up doesn't. So I was not exactly thrilled when Vooch resigned. I understand why people said it and did everything and said like, oh, we need to resign Vooch. Look, man, I get it, but like the whole saying like double machine, like yeah, double machine. He had a double tonight, but I thought he played like horribly tonight. So yeah, congratulations on another double. But like I don't know if you guys know, but like it's not that difficult right now to get a double. So I honestly just think that this team they need to just these three guys, if they're gonna continue to try to win with and not hit the rebuild button, then like these three guys just cannot be together. So I don't know who specifically needs to be gone. I would say Vooch is first, but it is what it is. Just tuning in, how satisfied are you with tonight's performance? Not satisfied very much. I'm very happy the Bulls won, but I'm not satisfied whatsoever. I thought the Bulls just they had so many opportunities throughout the game to like really just take over this game and not have it even be close. They then blew like a 19-point lead, right? And they just straight up they were missing shots inside. They were missing shots in the paint. That's unacceptable. The 3-point shots, it's 39 overall in OT. I'm just gonna say, let's say they took 34 in regulation. Like that's good. Like I'm fine with that. But everything else, so on the offensive end specifically, like I honestly give it like a D in terms of offense. Like it's got to be better, straight up. You know what? Yeah, I'll be nice. I'll say C-, because I'll give what DeRozan did and to get to the free throw line, like that little extra boost of like the Bulls, hey, they got to the free throw line tonight because DeRozan shot 7 free throws in 30 seconds at the end of the game, or 8 free throws or something like that. It was even more. So yeah, the Bulls just have to be better on offensive end. Defensively though, like overall defensively, like you just held a team in OT to 103 points. To me, defensively, like because of the bad start, but like for the rest of the game, I'm gonna say that this defense is like a B+. Honestly, I don't know what anyone else honestly wants because of their defense. Like this was really good defensively from the Bulls. Their offense just sucks. Their offense is terrible. If you're only giving up 103 points in OT, like you should be scoring 120 something. Like this is just terrible from the Bulls on offense. It's just awful. I mean, they even limited the Toronto Raptors to 10-second chance points, which is not like that's not normal. Like usually the Raptors are destroying the Bulls on the glass, and the Bulls out-rebound. No, they didn't out-rebound them, but like they held the Raptors off the glass. They forced 21 turnovers tonight. That's good. So overall grade, like just a flat C, because the offense is just so terrible, but the defense looks actually pretty solid yet again. So I don't get this team, man, and Billy has to answer some questions tonight, and I'll be looking at the comments because I missed the comments during my stream last game. So yeah, OKC is gonna make no mistake 100%. If Zach is not fit, then don't play him. Period. I mean, we'll have to see how he feels. I agree though. If Zach clearly just cannot finish like a layup right now, and he's ailing, then don't play. The problem is that it seems like when he's like running full speed, he looks okay. So I don't know what the level of pain he's in right now. So yeah, we'll have to see what Zach actually does here. I expect them to extend DeMar and trade Zach for Harden. I wish I'm dead wrong, but it feels like they're about to double down on DeMar and Vooch. We'll see what they actually do with that I don't think Harden, by the way, has come to the Bulls. Like, I straight up don't like. That's a betting site that I don't exactly trust. Now, if Vegas, like specifically Vegas and like their like sports books had Harden going to the Bulls, then I would be more concerned about it. A Harden for LaVine trade, I would straight up be so upset. I don't think that makes any sort of sense. As much as this Bulls team does need a point guard, that to me makes no sense whatsoever. I would be very pissed, but I do think that this front office is looking to probably double down with DeRozan and probably look to trade LaVine. So I'm honestly just like expecting anything at this point. And if Zach does get traded, I won't be shocked. But I think the front office would just be pretty in a pretty awful spot if they don't get good assets in return, and they double down with DeRozan and Vooch, because DeRozan and Vooch does not get you anywhere. It straight up basically gets you to the play-in tournament, which this is the thing that I don't understand with people. Like, everyone is like, the funny part about what Bulls fans say is like, hey, Zach LaVine, like, the Bulls should have been in the playoffs last season, which I agree, sure. And they're like, well, Zach should have led this team to the playoffs last year, which, look, man, I don't know what the hell to tell you, but this team is bad. Like, I've said, this team is bad. Now, do I think they should have been in the playoffs last season? Yeah, sure. But I think everyone literally underperformed last season. So are we all going to just blame Zach? Sure. We can all just blame Zach if we want to, right? But they say that, and they're like, well, this team is, but then they make an argument like, well, Zach has Vooch and DeRozan, like they should be making the playoffs. I'm like, that's not great. Like, I understand DeRozan has his moments, but Vucevic, I'm sorry, y'all, but like it's not like Vucevic is like the best player in the world. He's not a top 3 center like people will say he is. People still want to play through Vucevic in the post, which that is straight up just a terrible decision to do. Like, I don't know what to tell people. They say like, well, look at Miami. Like, I'm like, Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. Like, Bam Adebayo straight up is better than DeRozan and Vooch. Okay, but number 2, then you have just other better players on Miami, and like, well, Jimmy Butler's doing it. I'm like, Jimmy Butler is the best player between Butler, LaVine, DeRozan, Vooch. Like, I don't care. Butler's the best player. Like, the arguments I hear all the time, it doesn't make any sense. Because then they'll say this Bulls team's finishing 41-41, but then they'll be like, oh, well, Zach needs to lead this team to the playoffs. It's like, well, what do you want? Like, you're saying this team's terrible, but yet we're going to be 41-41, and you're saying we gotta get to the playoffs then? That doesn't make any sense. This team, I'm telling you, on the offensive end, this team is disgustingly bad. It makes no sense what this team is. This team is terrible on the offensive end. And coaching, like, I don't give a damn if Billy Donovan is fixing his methods or fixing the offensive scheme. The player personnel in the end is going to drive everything, and we're seeing it. The player personnel is terrible. The fit makes no sense. This team on offense sucks. So I've said 46 wins this season. I don't think they get any more than that, and I said 46 wins. So look, this team is not going anywhere. This team straight up is just, they're not going anywhere with this specific team like core together. So I don't think that like, I'll be clear, that does not mean for me that I think that this team needs to hit the rebuild. Okay, I understand so many fans want the rebuild, and even some of the biggest Bulls fans like hit the rebuild, and I get it. Okay, and I'll be here for a rebuild. Like, I'll be here for a rebuild if it does happen. But I just know that the last time the Bulls tried to rebuild and we saw what happened, it straight up did not work. Okay, so I don't want to rebuild whatsoever. But I guess I should say this: like, I'd be fine for a rebuild, but if it's a tank fest, then we're gonna be stuck in basketball literal hell. Like, not purgatory, right? Everyone says purgatory is the worst place to be in basketball. Like, to me, basketball hell to me is that you're tanking, you're flat out tanking, and you don't get a first overall pick in 4 straight years when you're tanking. That to me is basketball hell. That to me makes, like, you're going nowhere. You have no shot. And you want to know what the Houston Rockets have done? The Houston Rockets, they hit the flat out rebuild with James Harden. They went and signed Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. Like, they were sick of it. They're like, we didn't get the first overall pick. Yeah, we got Jalen Green at number 2. We got Jabari Smith Jr. at number 3. Like, okay, we got guys, but we didn't get Wembanyama. Like, can you imagine? There comes a point in time where you're just like, this is unacceptable. We can't just be losing and not getting the first overall pick. And there isn't a Wembanyama in every single draft. Like that, you're not going to get a LeBron James in every single draft. So even if you get the first overall pick, it's not guaranteed. So in the end, this Bulls team. In the end, I would like to see them try to continue to win moving forward. Also, we're down a pick still. We don't have to, like 2025. It's like top 10 protected. So I would still like to see this Bulls team try to win until at least that trade's 100% done between the Spurs and the Bulls. But yeah, this team though, specifically with this formation of guys, it makes no sense. Straight up. Really missed on Walker Kessler. Yeah, we have to talk about that in a little bit. Patrick's been really underwhelming. Him asking 20 mil is crazy. We'll also talk about that in just a second. Reset button is the best case here. Doubt that's gonna happen. I mean, it's, to me, I would like a retool first, but that's just my opinion. I'd say we missed Halburn. Oh, we 100% did. How old is Zach and how much longer does he have here? So Zach, I think, is 28. All right, my mouse is doing weird things. I don't know why my mouse is doing weird things. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, Zach is 28. He's about to be 29 this season, and he has two more guaranteed years, and then the player option, which he's 100% going to decline this. So 2 more seasons of Zach, or I guess 3 if you include this season, right? Which I just think the main reason why he's not gonna stay here is because the front office wants to get rid of his contract. Like the Ryan Serves don't want to pay him, so they just want to get rid of him, and they're gonna find someone else that's gonna take his money, which I think that's pretty stupid. I think if you're gonna trade Zach, then you need to get like the best assets possible. Which again, I personally wouldn't trade Zach, but I'm open to trading Zach. It's just that if you're gonna trade Zach, you better be doing things right. And if you trade Zach and keep DeRozan and Vooch together, that makes no sense. Okay. If you're gonna trade Zach and you're gonna double down on trying to win with DeRozan, then you gotta trade Vooch. And if you stick with DeRozan and then you form a better team that fits the system with DeRozan, I'm fine with that. But it's gotta be the correct move here, because if you double down with DeRozan and Vooch being the number 1 and 2 options, that's not gonna do anything. That's gonna be a flat out absolute terrible time just watching that team. We look clueless on offense at times. We were one team that have one center and a bunch of combo guards. I can't stress the need for a pure point guard. No, I agree with you. Again, I just think that a pure point guard or a floor general, it helps, but I don't think it fixes everything. This team still doesn't have enough shooting, right? This team doesn't have enough shooting. I don't think this team has any, in terms of, besides Kobe and Zach, I don't think this team has enough guys that really get into the paint consistently, and then DeRozan at moments, right? This team needs more paint scoring, which I was hoping Patrick Williams would take up that part, but he hasn't done that yet. I'll talk about Patrick Williams and also the miss on Walker Kessler in just a second here. I used to like Stacey King, but I can't say how he says, "Oh, dump it into Vooch." No, look, man, Stacey King is always just going to be 90s basketball. Sorry, hold on, I'm changing my camera setting. I don't like how I look right now. Stacey King is constantly, he's just going to be like, he's going to be talking 90s basketball all the time. Okay, he says like, we need to post up Vooch, we need to do this and that, and look, I think Vooch was missed against the Thunder in terms of certain moments, okay, but I also am aware that teams understand how to guard the post these days, especially when there is a mismatch in a sense where there's a bigger dude there's a smaller dude guarding Vooch, or a guy that's a 7-footer. Just teams understand how to guard it, okay. But the last thing, in my opinion, that we need is to play 90s basketball again. So what Stacey King says is what Stacey King says. I love his nicknames. I think he's a very good overall color commentator. But in terms of an analysis for the team, because he's going to continue to say that this team defensively needs to do work. What I'm just like, bro, the team was 5th on defense last season. That's just not the case. Yeah, it is what it is. People bring up argument of Vucevic carry the Magic the playoffs. Zach hasn't carried Ish. They still don't understand. It's all about fit. Zach was never around a good fit of a team. And look, like, sure, Vooch carried the Magic to the playoffs, to 8 seeds, to 7 seeds. Like, they didn't do anything. And at the time, I would argue the East was looking pretty awful, right? And Vooch was the number 1 option. Like, okay, so we know that the number 1 option with Nikola Vucevic is that? Like, and you're telling me we should go to that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay? it doesn't really make any sense at all. That argument of like, well, Vooch carried the Magic to the playoffs. I'm like, okay, sure. Like the Magic were actually trying. Like, I don't know if you guys were aware, the Magic were trying to win at that point. Ask David Bernauer. One of my best friends is David Bernauer. He grew up in Orlando. He's been an Orlando Magic fan for the longest period of time. Ask him. He's been on this channel. I've talked about this all the time. The Magic were actually trying to win when Vooch was like the main guy there. Like they were doing everything in their willpower, and at least in their opinion, to build a good team, and they just straight up didn't, right? And it's like, okay, well, yeah, Vooch got him to so far, and you know he had some okay players. He had Jameer Nelson, he had Evan Fournier, he had I think he had Tobias Harris for a little bit. Like he had some guys, sure, but also think about how different of a time that was, right? That was back then when it was post-up guys. It was slower basketball. It wasn't shoot 35 threes a night, right? It was a different game, straight up. And then, you know, it started slowly shifting into more of a different game. And that's when Vooch had his all-star seasons in terms of numbers, right? Where he actually started shooting the three ball, but they still weren't amazing, right? Also, would you consider Bulls a deep team? What Chase have we given up Pixon? I think the Bulls, in terms of 1 through 10, I think they're a pretty solid team overall, 1 through 10. Because you could argue that in terms of 1 through 10 depth, they're a pretty good overall team. Because when you look at some other teams, when you look at 1 through 10, they don't have 10 guys to play, right? They have 8 guys. But after 1 through 10, this team falls off a cliff, right? It's Terry Taylor, Dalen Terry, and Julian Phillips. That's the other 3 guys, because then Lonzo Ball's the 14th guy, and then we don't have a 15th guy right now. So I don't think this Bulls team in any sort of scenario I would say is like a deep team overall, but in terms of 1 through 10, I think they're pretty deep through 1 through 10. But that 1 through 10 isn't better than other guys 1 through 8, right? Tommy Pasta, Jimmy Butler move. They give him a max. Season down the line, problems occur. They side with the coach, and oh well, guess we gotta have to trade our max player. Yeah, it's the same thing, bro. Jimmy Butler. I was so pissed when Jimmy Butler was traded. Like, and what happened, right? Just as Bach said, Jimmy Butler got the max contract from the Bulls, okay, which I don't think people understand that a 5-year, $90 million contract at that time was a max contract, okay? Different times, different salary cap. He got the max contract, and then 2 seasons down the road, they traded Jimmy. I was just like, why do we trade Jimmy? There's no reason to trade Jimmy. And it clearly showed, like in like the last 4 seasons, why you shouldn't have traded Jimmy. Even if you don't have that great of a team around him, you could still do better as a GM, Garpax, and make a better team, because he is a number 1 option. But they just were like, no, we're just gonna trade this dude, which is stupid. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just because the Risers didn't want to pay. Like, and I that's the reason why I've been kind of like in my head, I've just accepted Zach's probably getting moved, but it'll be a sad day in my opinion. But if that's what's gonna happen, then I'm fully prepared for it to actually take place. I think the best case scenario is to pray someone like Pascal request a trade for continuing with this core. Well, I'll even say this, Noel. Like, if you trade Zach LaVine for Pascal Siakam, in terms of overall value, I think that makes a lot of sense. But in terms of fit for this team, that makes no sense, right? If I throw in Pascal Siakam alongside DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic, that makes no sense. You're having the same issues. You got a dude that wants to post up, that wants to shoot mid-range, that's coming in, and he takes a lot of threes, right? Or a decent amount, but it's not like he's like a pure sniper, and he's not a point guard, right? I think if you're trading Zach, you're looking for like an actual point guard to come in instead, and you're not looking for like necessarily like another wing player. Okay, Pascal only shoots 5 threes a game. 4 threes a game from last season. That's not a lot. So if you trade LaVine for Pascal Siakam, which I would do that overall, just in terms of like an overall value standpoint, but in terms of fit, like then you have to be trading Nikola Vucevic ASAP, or trading DeMar DeRozan ASAP if that's the case, because a core of DeRozan, Siakam, and Vucevic, in my opinion, would have even more problems than what this core is currently having. Like that lineup would make no sense whatsoever. So I don't know what the next move would be. Like to me, so let's just look at this. Like, I know people have talked about with Harden, for example, like, oh, Harden is like potentially the guy the Bulls are going to go after, which, look, man, if they do it, I would hope that they're not trading Zach, but they might do it. that to me is just gonna be terrible. Like, cause like I wouldn't even trade for James Harden right now. If like I wouldn't even trade DeRozan for James or Harden right now, because we know with Harden that's gonna be a whole. It's just gonna be a whole drama circus, and then the dude's not gonna play, and I don't want to deal with that, because then you spend assets basically for nothing. So to me that makes no sense. I'm not here for that. But like if we were gonna be trading Zach, right? Because like I'm trying to think of the teams that actually would need a guy like Zach, because one team is Philly, right? We talked about with Philly all the time, like, oh, they could use a guy like Zach, and I think Zach next to Joel Embiid would be fantastic. But I mean, let's look at some of the other options here, because I do think that some other teams could start thinking about, hey, what's up with Zach? Like, could we potentially make a run for him? Like, let's see here. Clippers could be a team. I think that the Clippers, they could want Zach, because they're trying to get James Harden, but that's not working out for them. But I don't know how the heck the money works, so I'm just gonna say the Clippers don't need him. Let's see here. OKC, no. Dallas doesn't need him anymore. I guess you could argue Denver, but they're not gonna make that sort of move for Denver. So New York is the next team that comes to mind immediately. Brooklyn, because we know Brooklyn's not trying to fail, right? Brooklyn's actually trying to win, even though they traded KD. And I guess you could argue San Antonio in a sense that they're actually really trying to win here, but I seriously doubt it. And the other team I would argue is Sacramento. So like, if we've talked about this all the time with New York, right? So the big person would be RJ Barrett, obviously. And then I've said it that if I'm trading Zach to New York, I need Emmanuel quickly, okay? And I think the Knicks would be very willing to send to send quickly, because they didn't sign him to a new contract, by the way. So that would be the reason why it's like they would want to trade him, right? But just to show you, okay? So I use Fanspo because it's better, in my opinion. But you see the trending players. Look, Zach and DeMar are like 1-2 or 2-3 right now. It's so funny to me, because everyone knows the Bulls are not in a good spot. They're straight up not. But okay, so this is what it would be. RJ Barrett's making actually a decent amount of money. I'll be aware of that, please. I don't know why people don't understand that. I trade Manuel quickly, and then I would really try for Quentin Grimes personally. I don't know if we get him. I don't think the money works just yet. And then actually we might have to take out Quentin Grimes, and then I guess we'd have to take on Fournier's contract, right? I think this would have this is it. I don't even know if this works necessarily. No, this would work. So this would be the deal in a sense. It's not amazing, and obviously you add on like 2 first-round picks. Okay. Let me see. Because if I try to get Quentin Grimes too. This doesn't work, and yeah, the Knicks need to send out this much more because of salary or luxury tax reasons. So yeah, it's hard. It's not easy for Zach being traded to New York, but like the Fournier trade would be the one, right? If we would do this sort of deal, which personally, I'm just saying it, I would not do this deal. I don't think this helps at all, because this doesn't help the Bulls go into a rebuild, and this doesn't help the Bulls win. So to me, this makes no sense. I don't understand this whatsoever. And then I would be arguing for the Knicks pick specifically, because they have all these other picks here. And then I'd want 2026 from the Knicks as well. So that this would be the deal. Like, this is bare minimum. I need this, and I don't think the Knicks do it. So we'll see about that. A pretty decent case. We have a new coach coach leading us. It's me or him, and Coach Ty to support nobody. Coach Fry, you can't make this stuff up. But for us, it's not a day at work to Chicago. Yeah. You're talking about Jimmy Butler. Do you see Zach getting moved this year? I don't think it's specifically this year for Zach. I think it's like a year down the road for Zach, personally. But not this year. New York, yeah. Support coach only to fire for a egghead a little down the road. Make this make sense. Yeah. Ownership and helping no team or player. This is how they helped Butler also bring in Rondo and Wade. They rallied defense against D Rose with false rumors about how he's absolutely ready to play, but just refused to do so. Crowd started even booing D Rose enough to trade another big contract away for a couple of bubs and cash considerations. Yeah, that's straight. That's literally on point. Yeah. I don't see how Harden helps the Bulls. I don't see it either. It straight up does not help this Bulls team. Because, like, I think, like, I'll say this. Like, let's say Harden wasn't, like, doing all this whole stuff and there wasn't, like, a big circus around him currently. I do think that, like, him and Levine together make more sense than DeRozan and Levine together. But it's because he's such a circus right now. I don't want him at all. I would not even trade DeRozan for Harden right now. I don't think he's going to come in healthy. I don't think he's going to be ready. He's just going to want the team to be in his own hands, and that's just not going to work out. Like, if the Bulls trade Levine for Harden, then we have some serious issues with this front office. Pacers, that's another good one. I like that, Noel. That is another good one. The only problem with that is I don't think the Bulls are going to be willing to trade with an inter-division rival. Let alone Eastern Conference rival, even though I brought up the Knicks and the Nets here. But yeah, the Pacers would also be another good fit for Zach. Jeremiah's special, yeah. I'll tell you how Harden helps his Bulls. His expiring deal. That's all the ownership cares about. Yeah, honestly, if you're a person that wants the rebuild bad, then Harden's an expiring contract, and you trade Zach for Harden, and then you don't have any money on the books next season because DeRozan's off the books too. So I guess that's kind of like your cope if you're a Bulls fan. If Levine is traded for Harden, okay, then you don't get as many assets in return because you're trading for James Harden, right? Then your cope is, well, we have no money on the books next season because I don't even know if Patrick Williams is getting re-signed at this point. Again, we'll get to him in a little bit here. DeRozan is off the books. No, then obviously Levine's contract's off the books. So yeah, you would have a lot of money to kind of work with at that point. Yeah. Bulls fans really want a full-blown rebuild, sign James Harden. Yeah, that's honestly it. Go trade for James Harden and then just let him go at the end of the season. Like that would be the worst use of assets for a rebuild. But for Bulls fans, they would get what they want. Honestly, is that you would trade for James Harden, you get Levine's contract off, and then you let James Harden go and let DeRozan walk. Like that would be the best case scenario for those Bulls fans who I think are ridiculous. But yeah. Okay. I talked about Brooklyn. Okay. Let's go over Brooklyn, because a lot of people are like, there were some people that said we could trade Levine for Mikal Bridges, and I'm like, okay, yet again, that does not help this team. Okay, maybe you think Mikal Bridges is a better player than Zach, but it doesn't help this team move forward. Like, if you're trying to win, that doesn't help, and then if you're trying to actually rebuild, this also doesn't help. Okay, they're pretty similar ages, right? He's 28, he's 27. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if you're trading Zach to Brooklyn, okay, then you're probably getting back Cam Johnson. I would love Nick Claxton, but that's not going to happen. You're going to get back Cam Thomas for sure. Let's see here, and then I guess like Royce O'Neal to like fill in the salary. Like this would be it. And then the Nets in terms of picks. Let's see here, I'd want the 2026, and then I want 2028. But even then, that might be too much for the Brooklyn Nets. So this even fails. Or it's because Cam Johnson can't be traded. But yeah. So, but this would be the money. Like this would be how the money works out, in my opinion. And then for Indiana, yeah. By the way, I don't do that trade either. I don't think that trade helps. For the Pacers, for the Bulls, for Zach, so we get Benedict Mathurin. Let's see. Probably Jalen Smith too. Oh boy, and then Buddy Hield to make the money work. That's not even enough money. I don't want Toppin. He's 25. Bruce Brown, bro. Oh my god, I would hate my life. Oh, sorry. Aaron, let's just throw in Aaron Nesmith, and then if you're Indiana, giving you 2024 pick, and then we'll do 2026. Okay, this would be the deal. And yet again, I'm like thinking to myself, I don't like this, but if I had to accept a deal out of the ones I've drawn up here, I'd accept this deal. Like, if I had to accept one, okay, if there was one deal I had to accept, and like that I had to trade Zach, and these were the offers, I'd accept this one. This is the one that to me that makes the most sense. But even still, I'm just like, I don't like this. This doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah. We have to go make that 25-year drought into a 35-year drought, unless we make someone at this into our D-Rose. Highly unlikely. I like Jalen Smith a lot. I mean, look, man, the Bulls' way is just always screw it up. They're never going to do things right. So I would just like to have a respectable team again, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. So, look, I already know that, like, I'm doing this, but this is stupid to do right now. Like, this is after game 2, and I'm on the trade machine trying to trade Zach. Like, that, it makes no sense. We're not doing this anymore. But we can talk about the problems with this Bulls team in terms of like the overall fit, because it is seriously problematic for this team's overall fit. But yeah. All right, I need to talk about Patrick Williams, because this is something that I'm very concerned. I think more off-ball movement would change this team very positively, but I think the problem is it Hamid? The problem is, while I agree with you, the problem is that there's no floor general. So like the off-ball movement, in my opinion, it just goes for naught, because there's no real floor general out there to be like, oh, you're open, good, well, we're passing to you. Or they understand, okay, because now this guy's open, I'm seeing one step ahead, and then the defense rotates, and then they understand, oh, okay, I could do this instead, right? So I understand, like, yeah, I do think off-ball movement would help, but I just think that we're at the point where the off-ball movement, like, it's just gonna go for naught. Like, the team is getting enough three-point shots, in my opinion, right now, that I don't think that off-ball movement's gonna like get more three-point shots, and it's not gonna help this team overall shooting-wise, because they're getting a lot of open looks. They're just not hitting them right now. So to me, in the end, because there is really no floor general, that this team really needs to just hit their threes. Like that fixes everything in the end. But you can't do that without three-point shooting, right? Be very like an entry pass low. Yeah, I agree. Lacks no floor general. I mean, look, like, and I've talked about with Lonzo. Like, Lonzo, like, if Lonzo was here, okay, again, it just doesn't fix everything. But what Lonzo brings is that if he's open from three, he's gonna make it, right? That's the one thing that I know with Lonzo that I can trust with, is that if he's open, he's gonna take it and he's gonna make it. And we're missing that type of shooter on this roster right now, because Levine is like a 3-level scorer if he's healthy, and he needs to be driving to the basket, getting free throws, finishing inside, and also shooting threes. Okay, Kobe's the point guard right now, but he's like also not really a point guard, and he needs to score from outside, right? But there is like no like true Buddy Hield on this roster, and I think that's killing us right now, because we need that like sniper. We just straight up like need a sniper from three that only shoots threes, and we don't have that right now. And then a floor general would help at least kind of make sure that they make the right passes to the open guys, and understand that the off-ball movement is going to help set up something else, right? Real power is there's no movement without the ball. Every player is playing corners. Defense and opposing opposite team gets rest. I mean, I don't think that's fully true, because if you think about it, right, when you're guarding DeRozan or any of these guys for the Bulls top the key, you're not fully resting. Okay, I like I said, I do think that off-ball movement, it needs work, but to me, it's also about like the play sets right now for Billy. Like, I think there needs to be better play sets called to kind of help space the floor better, to make guys actually move more. And it's not even off-ball movement in a sense. Like, one play that I've been thinking about for this Bulls team, just to kind of help with the spacing a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys this, and I have promised to get to Patrick Williams, but we keep getting off track here. But I need to talk about Pat. But let me show you this play, because the Milwaukee Bucks ran this play that I was like, hey, this is really good, and I like this a lot. I'm sorry it's gonna be on Twitter, but it's Twitter, and I'm not gonna do anything about it. But if you watch this play here, okay, the whole point of this play, okay, look what this play does, right? It's high screen and rolls. It's high screen and roll for Damian Lillard, okay. Now I understand that we don't have a Damian Lillard and we don't have a Giannis, but what this does is that look what happens, right? You have to bring up guys to guard up here. Therefore, look at all this space, right? You have so much space now to kind of move around. So get to the basket, or guys cutting hard, right? So what I think the Bulls need to start doing is running this like very, very high screen and roll to get more space, make the defenders have to guard more space overall. And that's not off-ball movement. That's just setting a screen up high, and that allows more space for the rest of the offense then, right? I understand that these two guys here in the pick and roll is literally unguardable, so there is that factor for the Milwaukee Bucks that the Bulls don't have. But what this at least does is that it brings the defenders out, okay? Because even let's say if let's say this is DeMar DeRozan handling the ball, like they're not going to guard him this high, right? Because this is Damian Lillard. But even if let's say DeMar DeRozan was up here, his defender at the very least is here, right? And then the dude that is involved in the screen, or like who's guarding the screener, they have to be here, right? Because what we're seeing a lot of sometimes is that DeRozan, when he does the pick and roll, like the dude's down here, and then they have guys just like kind of sinking in constantly, and there's no space, right? They can't get to the rim out of it. So I just think that the Bulls need to like do something like this, where they extend the floor as much as possible on the offensive end, and that's what's going to take for this Bulls team to start getting more downhill in the half court, because we can't do this half court stuff right now, clearly. Because there's too many droughts. Wait, where is Seth Curry now? Actually, I'm not 100% sure myself. But let's see. Where is Seth Curry? Is he back in Dallas? Yeah, he is back. He's back in Dallas. Yeah. Changing music. Sorry. Oh, sorry, screen. What? I don't know what's happening. When the stream ends, I'm gonna restart my PC, because I don't know why my screen goes blurry like this. Sorry, changing music still. Okay. Lonzo fixes a lot of things. Quick decisions, makes the open shots. Oh my god, sorry, did it again. A menace. If fast pace, you get rebounds. Lonzo makes the pass. Boom, pace is going up. Oh, I agree, but I don't think it fixes everything, right? Because I still think this team lacks shooting. But yeah, he fixes a lot of things, but he doesn't fix everything. And I'm trying to fix everything right now for this Bulls team, or at least I'm trying to say, yeah. If I'm GM, move one is firing Billy Donovan. I don't blame you. I would also fire Billy, honestly, but I'm not here to make that decision. Not needing the dribble to air out the ball to make things happen is another plus. I agree. It's because misdirection and confusion when folks focus on the ball handling. Even 3D guys shift 3 to 6 feet in the corner to change passing lanes and creating rotation and creating confusion. Everything you're saying, like I've said this before, everything you guys are saying is right. Like I agree with what you're saying. It's right. But what did I just say? This Bulls team doesn't have a floor general right now. They don't have a dude that is pass first. They don't have a dude that understands, that can read the defense one step ahead of what the rotations are, right? I 100% agree with everything you're saying, but the other part about it right now that's a problem for this Bulls team is when they do those like little simple switches. Like I talk about it all the time, where like if a dude's driving and there's two guys on one side of the floor, then you would switch those two guys and make the off-ball defense have to look at their defender while the drive is happening. I agree. Like I 100% agree with all that, but there's two issues. One, again, there's no floor general, but two, that we see a lot of times defenses just kind of zone up now because there's no, like, they just switch everything 1 through 4. So that's not at least my Patrick Williams argument here. Like what Torrey Craig does, okay, like this is where I also think the Bulls need to start kind of looking into this. Like not only does Torrey Craig move better than Pat right now in terms of off-ball movement and such, I also think he's a better screener. I think he's just in general also fighting for the offensive rebound is just much better. Okay, because that's the other stuff that this Bulls team can do better is set harder screens, fight for the offensive glass better, right, and make better cuts than what we're seeing so far. Okay, but yeah, I agree. Off ball movement, like, we get it, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna fix everything. Like all of a sudden this Bulls team is gonna miraculously become just better. Because to me, again, the 3-point attempts so far, we've taken 42 and 39, and one game's OT, but we're shooting a abysmal, terrible percentage right now from 3-point range. Let's just look at this right now, because this is the part that's ridiculous. By the way, the Sacramento Kings in their first game, they shot 51 threes in their first game. Okay, look at this, 51 threes in their first game, 51 threes. So just get used to it. But the Bulls right now, they're shooting abysmal 24%. Some of the Warriors are worse at 23, but they only play one game. So I honestly just think it just comes down to these guys gotta hit their shots at this point, man. It straight up is. If you want a ring, you need a top 5 player. In the game 10, Giannis, Jokic said maybe Luka, also the Suns. If you want a champ, you need someone of that caliber on the roster. Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I do think that gives you the best shot at winning, right? I will say though that we have seen teams before where I don't think they have a top 5 player or a top 10 player on the roster and they win. Okay, now I'm not saying that I think Zach LaVine's going to lead this team to a championship. He's not. Okay, if he's the main option, he's not going to lead this team to a championship. He's a second option on a championship caliber team. Okay, but even with DeRozan, I think he's a second option. I don't think he's a first option. But let's think this: the 2003 Detroit Pistons. Okay, 2003 Detroit Pistons. I mean, who would you say at that point on that roster was a top 5 player or top 10 player in the league, and they won the championship, right? It requires you to be almost perfect, right? And it requires you to have a really good team, okay? Because what you're going to tell me right now is like, well, they have one of the best defenses in the league. And I'm like, yeah, that's my point. Like, it requires you to be, like, almost perfect to win the championship without having, like, that top 10 player, right? But we've seen it before. And I still think that you can get to the NBA Finals or be, like, a very good playoff team overall without that top 10 player, and that's at the very least the Bulls should be striving for that, because then who knows who could be available, right? Because I mean, hell, we just saw Damian Lillard get traded this offseason. We saw Bradley Beal get traded this offseason, right? You never know who's gonna be available, right? And that's what I would like to see this Bulls team at least do, is be better. Now, the whole next step obviously would be then actually trade for those guys and be willing to pay. We've never seen Jerry Reinsdorf in his lifetime ever do something like that, and I don't think they ever will. But I would like to still see the team start winning in the end, and not be, you know, stuck down, you know, winning 44, 40, 41 games each year. That's unacceptable, right? So, look, I'm aware, right? But I'm also of, like, if we talk about rebuilding and everything, like, man, oh man, good luck to us getting that, you know, future top 5 player in the draft, because we know that happens all the time, right? Right, guys? Right? We're guaranteed a top 5 player in the NBA draft after 3 seasons of tanking. That's definitely going to happen 100% of the time. Yep. It's not, right? I don't think every single season in the NBA needs to be championship or bust, or for the other younger teams has to be like full, like 0-82 get first overall pick or bust, right? It shouldn't be that way. You should still be looking to actually be a good team and still look to win and build steps towards winning. Because, like, let me give you an example, okay? Do y'all think the Sacramento Kings are a contender in the Western Conference this season? Sacramento, the Kings, they were the 3 seed last season, right? They lost in the first round, but do you think they're a contender this season? Because I would argue that they don't have a top 10 player on their roster, and I think Sacramento could win the West, right? It's going to come down to them being perfect, right? And they could use some help, but like I said, it comes down to them basically being perfect and having a good overall system with really good role players, that which they do, right? And they have a really good coach in Mike Brown, and in my opinion, they could win the West. I don't think that's something that's out of the possibility here. So in the end, I understand. Yeah, you need that. Like it would be best to have that top 10 player. I 100% agree. It's 100% something that you should be striving for. But for Sacramento, right? I don't think they have a top 10 player. Like I think De'Aaron Fox unfortunately falls into the top 15 for them. But if anything, or he's probably more top 20. And Sabonis is definitely not a top 15 player, but he's a very good player. But in the end, I still think that they can be a team that wins the West. But the biggest thing for them, right, even though they don't have that top 10 player, right, is they're able to then be willing. They're now a destination potentially for when a top 10 player or of one of the best players in the league is suddenly available for trade. They're gonna be players saying, "I want to go to Sacramento." That's the whole point of all this, right? Is to be that destination, to make yourself that destination, to be like, okay, yeah, we have the assets, we have the players, we have the system. Come here, right? We could use Curry. I agree. I think we could use Seth Curry, but he is on the Mavericks, so we don't have him. We'll look at his pair with another superstar, and it doesn't work. It doesn't always work for sure. I mean, hell, we talked about Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. That didn't work. I think, like I said, it gives you the best chance for sure, but it's not guaranteed. It just gives you a better shot. Bulls are too predictable. Bulls, especially they're top 5 when playing together. It's just their defense, but like I said though, it's not guaranteed, right? Just don't bet on making any big moves, signing big time free agents and whatnot. Well, the luck to MJ and a D Rose or bust. I mean, I would not like to think that way, but I do think that that's probably the most likely scenario, unfortunately. Until Jay Reinsdorf leaves, which look, man, I don't know when this dude is gonna eventually have his life come to an end, but who knows? We'll see how soon it is. I'm not saying that I want Jerry to die. I'm just, I'm aware of his age, and I am aware that Michael Reinsdorf would be taking over, but we'll see how what he does with it, because my hope is that he sells it. I don't think he will. I think he's just gonna stick with it, but who knows? There are potential things that could be moved. There are potential little pillars in the way that could be potentially moved over. So, yeah. All right, Patrick Williams. I've been trying to get to Patrick Williams, but we're now here. Okay, Patrick Williams. Okay, so look, I need Torrey Craig to start next game, because Pat is straight up, he is concerning me right now. Okay. We talked about a lot on this channel with Pat how we think that like his next steps is always, as Noel, have Box, and other people in this chat, I think even you, Zay, over have talked about it, had talked about his dribbling, right? His next steps to become a really good player is dribbling, right? And being able to actually create off the dribble. Right now, Patrick Williams, in terms of just putting the ball on the floor and him just trying to make a drive to the basket, I don't even trust him right now, okay? Like, that's how bad it is right now for Pat. That I'm like, I don't trust you with the ball in your hands, even if you're just trying to make a simple drive. And, it's concerning. It's straight up concerning to see this from Pat, that we're now in year 4 and we're having this conversation. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I just dropped some frames. It stopped. I think I stabilized, but I just want to make sure that the stream's okay. Thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat, just to make sure. I just want to make sure the stream's live and we're still running here. I have had internet issues in the past month, so I just want to make sure that we're running still. But all right, thank you. Let's watch this from Pat. Okay, pick and roll, right? He should have shot this, okay? Like, I'm telling you right now, he needs to shoot this. I mean, look at all this space he has. He needs to shoot this ball. But watch this. Like, what are we doing? He dribbled off his foot. That makes no sense. Like, I don't understand how, like, why is this happening with him? Because we've talked about how much he needs to improve on this. And we saw this, right? Where he just straight up, he dribbled out of bounds, and then Or was it? Same thing here. Like, again, I wouldn't mind if he shot this. Now, I understand that he hasn't hit threes, so he's probably trying to get to the basket. But this dude, okay, both of these times when he tried to dribble the basketball, it wasn't like crazy, like great defense was on him suddenly, right? This is him having space to dribble initially, and he tries to close that space between him and the defender, and he just loses the ball. This just can't happen with Pat right now. And I know Noel, I think it was you, Noel, that brought up like he wants $20 million, which by the way, like the rumor was that he wanted like 25 plus or something per year. This just can't be happening if you're wanting this big contract. And I've said that with Pat, I'm not giving up on Pat, but I understand that his starting replacement is here right now, right? This is time now for Pat to show me that I can trust you in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, for you to make the right decisions with the basketball in a catch and shoot scenario, right? You gotta make these better decisions. It's straight up impossible right now for me to trust you because you're not making the right decisions, and then also you're turning the ball over. It's unacceptable at this point. And and I know Jose over and many others have talked about the off-ball movement. That's a big culprit of not moving at all. Like, he just kind of stands there, and I feel like him as the four-man, we see this all the time. He needs to move. Like, he needs to be moving all the time when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. And there's whoever, it's Levine, DeRozan, Vooch, whoever has the ball, he needs to be moving for sure. That's something I do agree with. Or, as I said before, he needs to be setting screens, right? If you're not going to be cutting hard and trying to get cuts to the basket because your finishing is suspect, then at the very least, you got to be setting screens for somebody, right? Setting good, hard screens to make the defense have to think, oh, okay, this is happening right now, okay? At the very least, he can do that, right? So there is a main culprit, it's this dude. And then the part that bothers me the most is that if he's not confident in his offense right now, he can still hit the glass, and he's not doing that right now. He's not hitting the glass at all. His offensive rebounding is just non-existent, and he needs to do a better job of it because Torrey Craig can get more offensive rebounds than him in like 20 minutes, and it takes like 2 seconds for Torrey Craig to get an offensive rebound. So I don't know what it is. Keep doing the ball on your shin or your foot. There's a combination of bad technique and lack of awareness that's pretty embarrassing. I just think it's honestly it is lack of awareness, like you said, but it's also lack of confidence right now for Pat. And look, man, I hate the argument that people are saying, like, okay, we need to play Patrick Williams, we need to give him a bunch of minutes, we need to give him the ball, give him on-ball reps, etc., to help raise his confidence, okay? I'm telling you right now, and I've said this all the time, coaches, when it comes to players, okay, coaches cannot do anything to raise the player's confidence, okay? What they can do is they can take that confidence away, for sure. Like, that's something that the coach can 100% do. They can take away the confidence, right? Like, if Billy Donovan is like, okay, we need to run 20 plays for Patrick Williams this game to help his confidence go up, that's not going to do anything, okay? It's on Pat. It's straight up just on Pat to be more confident. He needs to work on his overall skill set and make sure his ball control is better and not turn the ball over like this. Or just be confident in your three-point shot, because in my opinion, in both of these plays, I would just much rather him just shoot the ball, and I'm not having this conversation right now, right? Be confident in your three-point shot. We're not having this conversation at this moment, and I'm not criticizing you. And look at that, we're all good. It's so confusing to me when I see this from Pat, because I think he'd just be so much better. Wait, who is his replacement? Pat? Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig is 100% his like replacement in a sense. Like, if Pat isn't performing right, Torrey Craig is here to take his spot, right? Torrey Craig is here to either start or come off the bench if Pat's not playing well. Torrey Craig is here to push Pat, and so far Torrey Craig is winning, and that's not good. Not every player reacts the same way to the same stimuli, but it's the coach's job to see what makes every player tick, especially with young ones. Oh, for sure. But this is the thing, though, with Pat. Like, even the best players, they have catch and shoot scenarios, right? And if he can't even do that, then I don't know what Billy's supposed to do. Like, that's just straight up that's on Patrick Williams to figure it out himself. To like, the coaches can be like, you need to shoot this, but for some reason it hasn't gotten that message to him. He just thinks, oh, I need to fake this shot and I need to drive. So to me, that's just all Pat. That's just straight up on him. Now, what Billy, I think, should start doing with Pat a little bit more is have Pat sense the screens and make sure that he really emphasizes with Williams to push the ball. Like, if you get that rebound, or anytime the Bulls get the rebound and they're going up court, he needs to be the first one down the court. Like, that's something that I know Patrick Williams is comfortable with and can 100% do, because we've seen it all the time with him. So that's something that he needs to start working on, right? If you're Billy, right, you need to start emphasizing, let's move. You gotta be the first one down the court if the Bulls get the rebound for a fast break opportunity, right? Pat can do that. I know he's comfortable with it, but the catch and shoot stuff, I don't know what Billy needs to do at this point, because I think he's told Pat shoot it every single time, and here we are. I guess with Pat, we got a super passive guy that is okay with just making it to the league. You can't teach thirst, you can't teach hunger. No, you can't. That's straight up. You're 100% right, Box. You cannot teach the drive to become a superstar. Okay, that is something that is just something in you when you're born. Okay, that is inside of you that cannot be unleashed from someone else. That is within you. You have it or you don't. Right? You cannot teach the ability to be more aggressive. Like, this is the reason why I've always said that I would much rather, if I'm ever scouting a dude and I'm looking in the draft, I would much rather have a guy that I know is willing to take like 20 shots a night, because I know I can reel him in, right? Like, if the dude's hyper aggressive, I would much rather have that, because I can reel him in. Like, I could be like, okay, you know what? Let's take less shots, because I know you can, and I don't have to worry about your aggressiveness, because when I need you to be aggressive, you're going to be aggressive, right? But if he isn't aggressive, then that's something that just can't be taught, right? With Pat, the stuff that he can be taught is run the fast break better, set better screens, offensive rebound better. That's stuff that he can definitely be taught. But when it comes to him and shooting and making decisions, right? When a catch and shoot decision or pick and roll decision, right? That's something that I don't know that can really be taught, and it's all on him to figure it out, right? Now, look, I'm not here to say like it's over for Pat, but it's time now for him to start figuring it out, because I've said it before. People are saying like, well, Pat plays so much better when DeRozan's off the floor. I'm like, okay, sure, but put a team out there that has no all-star caliber players and put any sort of dude out there. Yeah, he's gonna get more shots and he's gonna get more opportunities to score. Like that's not abnormal. We've seen this all the time. But if Patrick Williams, it can't be confident next to DeMar DeRozan, or can't be confident next to Zach LaVine, then I don't think Patrick Williams can be confident next to anybody. And sure, maybe the one dude that can help him is Nikola Jokic, but that's one dude. Okay, so if Pat's gonna have a successful career, then he needs to figure this out here. And who knows what happens this offseason, right? But if he's not successful here right now, then he's never gonna be successful, right? Like, there's no, like, it's not gonna suddenly, like, it's gonna flip a switch when DeMar DeRozan's off the court, where he's playing for who knows where, and he's like, I'm not playing against DeMar DeRozan anymore, I can do whatever now. Like, that's not gonna happen, right? And it's straight up just never gonna happen. But Kawhi early on was passive too. I would argue though that it's very similar to what we saw, like what Pat's going through right now, is that like Kawhi wasn't really like the main option, right? But when Kawhi Leonard that needed to be like when they needed to rely on him a lot more, he was ready. Like, I don't think Kawhi Leonard was afraid to shoot any sort of threes when he was the role player small forward in San Antonio. Like he would shoot threes all the time, I felt like. Yeah, maybe in offense, but he was dogging people on defense. He was as intense and aggressive on defense as anyone I've ever seen, and maybe even more. And here's the other thing that Kawhi did 100%. He would drive to the basket with authority, and he would get offensive rebounds and slam it back home, right? That's the stuff with Kawhi that we have never seen with Pat so far, consistently, right? We get flashes of it with Pat. Like, we get little games here and there where it's like, oh, we saw Patrick Williams have this really good game as the fourth option off ball, and he's moving really well. He's aggressive in his cuts. He's getting offensive rebounds, he's setting good screens, he's driving with authority, and he's finishing at the rim, something that he still struggles with, right? We get those games, but it doesn't happen consistently, right? I know Patrick Williams can make a mid-range shot, but that doesn't help me, right? Patrick Williams making a mid-range shot is not going to help him. It's not going to help the team. Okay, sure, he can make a mid-range shot, but I know a ton of other people in the NBA can make a mid-range shot. What I need to see him do is the other stuff, right? And then on the three-point shot, because I know there are plenty of people in this league that cannot make a catch-and-shoot three-point shot or shoot a three-point shot with confidence, right? And drain it at a 40% clip. That's not easy to do, but I need to see him do it because I know he can, right? Yeah. Not only was Kawhi Leonard just an absolute dog on the defensive end, which, by the way, I've said Patrick Williams is a very good defender. I don't think he's like all NBA level though, and Kawhi Leonard, or sorry, all defensive level. Kawhi Leonard was all defensive level when he was with San Antonio early on. Like he was like a phenomenal defender. Pat's a very good defender. I just don't think that he's like. He shouldn't be in any conversation of being like he should be all defense, because there's some fans that want to make the argument for Pat he's all defense. He's not. Like he's a good defender, and I praise him for his defensive versatility and everything that he does on the defensive end. But I've seen better. Here's the other thing, okay? Because the thing about this whole talk about Pat right now, okay? It's a contract year, and if there's anything to get a dude to have motivation to be better, it's contract. It's money. And Pat came out and said that he wants a big contract. Okay, well, if you want that big contract, dude, then I need to see some better stuff from you. I said, personally, I'd be willing to give him 5 years, $100 million. Okay, if he wanted that extension, I'd give it to him. Through 2 games right now, that looks terrible. If the Bulls gave Patrick Williams 5 years, $100 million, and he accepted it, it would look terrible right now. It would look flat out awful. So, I honestly don't know what it's going to take with Pat, but you know, obviously we've talked about with this guy, right, having 2 unacceptable games so far. Well, this guy here, he's also just flat out been unacceptable so far. He needs to be better, and we can't have this right now from Patrick Williams. So one dude has the money, is locked up, and I know that he will be aggressive when he's healthy. Still, it's unacceptable from 2 games for Levine. But this guy, he's in a contract year. I don't know what's going to take for him to start actually being aggressive and understanding some things and making sure that hey, he's gonna make his presence felt. All right, I'm bringing up some of the quotes here. Okay, doesn't look like there's any sort of like big thing that happened after postgame. Okay, so a couple things. DeRozan said this about Caruso, is like letting cheat out of cage. Alex bailed me out, which DeRozan, I mean, I said like DeRozan deserves a ton of credit for what he did tonight. He straight up just put the Bulls on his back, and we're like, hey, we're gonna try to get fight back into this game, which the Bulls did. So DeRozan deserves a ton of credit for this game. And then obviously Alex and I think Torrey Craig and also Kobe White deserve a lot of credit, because I will say I am critical of Kobe kind of tonight, because some decisions by Kobe were not great, but when it comes down to it, I do think that he had a little nice burst in that third quarter that really helped this team. He had 8 assists, so I guess it shouldn't be too hard on him, but these 3 turnovers, it wasn't just turnovers, there's some decisions by him that I didn't understand, but overall though, like Kobe, really good job. DeRozan obviously did his thing, and then Torrey Craig and Alex Caruso were the huge guys off the bench to really help get this victory and pull out this ugly win, which again the Bulls should not have won. And then the other thing to talk about here, so Zach said obviously I gotta get things clicking, which is, I think we all know that. But this is what Levine had to say. It just got a little stiff playing in Toronto. You have to guard different positions, so it got a little tight, but we were able to figure it out. As if you have plans to play Saturday back-to-back versus the Pistons, Levine said he'll assess it, figure it out on Saturday. So right now, for Zach Levine, he is day-to-day, or we're just uncertain from Zach if he's gonna be playing tomorrow. Like I said though, if Zach really is like not even close to 90%, right, then I don't want him out there. I would much rather just have him sit, try to get back to being healthy, and not have him trying to force things. So I think that's what Zach needs to kind of figure out, like how bad is it for him. Again, I showed you the play where I thought where he got clothesline on a layup attempt, and I thought that's kind of where his back got screwed over in OKC. Who knows? It might have been in Toronto, but I think it was against OKC personally, where it all happened. And then, yeah, Bulls are going to be playing. See here, the Bulls should be playing in Detroit. It's going to be a 6 o'clock game. I will be streaming after this game. I'm not ending stream yet, by the way. I will be streaming after this game. So let's say around 8:30, because it is a 6 o'clock game. This is going to be tough though. Like I'm just going to say I won't be shocked if the Bulls lose this one. I don't know how upset I'd be about it, because do I think the Bulls are better than the Pistons? Yes. But the problem is that because this was an overtime game, players played over 40 minutes in this one, and then the Bulls have to fly to Detroit and play in Detroit. Probably getting in late. Also, it kind of just bodes for a pretty bad showing by the Bulls against the Detroit Pistons. So I won't be that upset, honestly, if they lose this one. It would suck, obviously, but I understand why they would lose this. Detroit, I think, won against the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, so Detroit won against the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Cunningham did not have a good game. Oh my god. But the guys are rested. I mean, we're looking at max 36 minutes for Isaiah Stewart. But other guys, 29, 24, 29, 30. So these guys will be rested. So this is not going to be easy for the Bulls, obviously. But this team, I think Detroit from last season, they also struggled from 3-point range. So at least that's a good news for the Bulls. If the Bulls can't shoot still from 3-point land, then there's at least that for us going on. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, we'll see how the Bulls do against Detroit. I'm a little concerned. I don't really have faith in it, but yeah. Looks like this was a pretty good game. Steph kind of finally figured it out. Steph and Clay both have been like in shooting slumps to kind of start the year, or like even like into like the preseason. Or I guess not Steph really. Clay specifically though was definitely a shooting slump in preseason, but it looks like he kind of got things together. Steph had 41. Oh my god, my goodness. And then here's the Sacramento Kings stuff. So this is crazy. I'm just gonna go ahead and like check the rest of the score lines here for the NBA. So here's Magic. Interesting stuff here. I don't know why Banchero is only getting 12 field goal attempts, but I won't talk about that. Portland is going to have a terrible time. I honestly think Portland is on their way to like an 0-82 season. So the Portland lost Anthony Simons. I don't know how they're going to survive. So Portland's not in a good spot right now. Yeah, not looking great. Give me 1 sec. I need to grab a tissue. All right, and then this is the Thunder and the Cavaliers. Like I said, I said that I thought the Thunder were going to take a humongous step this season because Shea, in my opinion, is an MVP candidate, and obviously Thunder are going to be better. But Thunder beat the Cavaliers tonight. Sorry. No Darius Garland, so and obviously no Jarrett Allen, but yeah, I think that's actually a big win for OKC though, because it really shows that they're they're ready to like beat some of the, like the better teams still, because that was kind of OKC's downfall last season. So, like they win some pretty good games, but then they weren't always able to beat the better teams, even like a team like Cleveland. One sec. Let's see here. Is that guy going to pick up? Mm-hmm. Bulls on road for 81 and 1 season? Oh, yeah. Yep, 81 and 1. Woohoo. Did LeBron start with the minutes restriction and now it's gone or something? So yeah, LeBron is on a minutes restriction. It sounds like they want to play him 30 minutes or less per game. Sorry. In that game against the Suns, though, they just said, screw it, we're not going to do it. Sorry about my nose. Yeah, and I guess the Phoenix Suns, they basically just said, screw it. I mean, I don't blame them. I would also just say screw the minutes restriction, but it seems like they're going to try to limit LeBron as much as possible, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis needs to really show up and be the main guy for the Lakers. When you structure leadership and accountability and aggression, this team is too quiet. They don't communicate and they are lazy in their ways. Zach many excuses and they all want to play hero ball. I mean, I agree with most of what you said. I think that, yeah, this team is too quiet, and look, I don't think leadership comes in like form of, you know, being going on to guys and yelling at guys. There are many ways to be a leader, but I think the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that because this group is quiet, right? They don't have a coach that is willing to be aggressive with them and really being willing, like, yell at them and be like, hey, y'all gotta do better, right? Because, like, let's just take this for example, okay? San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan, you have Tony Parker, you have Manu Ginobili, right? And then even fast forward to Kawhi Leonard, right? All four of those guys, they're all quiet. Like, they don't really say a lot, right? We obviously know the success of Tim Duncan and others, right? I think the most vocal guy would be Ginobili out of that group. But yeah, Greg Popovich, who was willing to just absolutely chew their ass out, right? If he saw something going wrong. So that to me is why I am definitely concerned about, you know, the leadership in a sense for this team. I think that specifically with DeRozan, like DeRozan is like not the loudest dude, but he does a good job of leading by example of how to do things, right? And how to be professional. And then obviously I think Alex Caruso does a really good job of like helping guys and yelling at guys on the defensive end, but he can only do so much because he's also a player, right? I do think that the Patrick Beverley, you know, signing at the end of the season, I do think that was significant because he was willing to yell at guys and say, hey, y'all are not playing well enough. Y'all got to do this better. And I do think like having like Pat Bev is important. I just don't think that like Pat Bev yelling at you versus Alex Caruso yelling at you, I think it's just two different things, right? So I agree with that, definitely. But like you said though, with structure, I don't know. Like I think it's pretty obvious who like the pecking order is. I would say more that it's the offensive scheme is a problem, but to me, in the end, the problems just go right back to the front office. Like we could talk about, you know, Zach Levine not playing well and you know, Patrick Williams not being enough, but in the end, it all goes back up to the guys upstairs. Like we can, I want to make this very clear. A lot of the times players get blamed for a lot of things, and yeah, they deserve a lot of criticism at many moments. Like tonight, Zach Levine deserves all the criticism in the world, so does Patrick Williams, okay? But the overall problem for this Bulls team is still the front office. The front office is still doing just an awful job of making this team actually a good team, right? They didn't fix their issues this offseason. This team still has problems with the 3-point line. That falls on the front office, right? And they also probably don't have the right coach coaching them. So in the end, we have to make sure that we're blaming the people that need to be blamed, right? I understand, like, yeah, this team needs to play better in general, even if this team is not perfect. But if we're going to be talking about this team not having any sort of success and talking about why this team sucks and is not going to be going anywhere, then we need to make sure we blame the front office too. So as like what Box has done in this stream tonight, I mean, he's blaming ownership and front office and everything. Like, yeah, like that. Those are the people that need to 100% be blamed first before we start thinking about blaming some of the other guys that don't really have as much control over the situation. But yeah, I mean, players aren't void of criticism, but I also want to make sure that the front office is not void of criticism, because that to me is the biggest problem of all this, right? The lead by example, Pops was the loud one. Yeah, 100%. One of the things that I will say that I think that what Caruso also is, the way I always kind of look at teams when I look at kind of like structure. Now it always kind of differs, right? But you need that like loud voice to like be like, all right, no nonsense, here we go. But then you also need an emotional leader, right? You need that emotional leader that's going to be doing everything, right, and hyping guys up, getting the energy up, and that to me is more what Caruso does, right? Caruso to me is more the emotional leader than like the actual like get in your face type dude. I was expecting Javon Carter to be the no nonsense. I'm gonna get in your face and tell you, hey, y'all gotta play better. But it seems like he is like a really no nonsense type dude. But it doesn't seem like he's like as loud as I thought he would be. So that's just why I said like it's important that you have a coach that is willing to get in guys' faces and is really willing to make sure that guys are giving the best effort. And Billy Donovan is not that, right? He is very much the opposite of that, right? You know, ownership is the common denominator of all these years of not having any kind of success. Oh yeah, for sure. But what did I talk about earlier in the stream box? I was like, well, why is Zach LaVine not making the playoffs? Why can't he lead the team to the playoffs? Like, well, pretty obvious, right? Team sucked. Management made terrible decisions. Ownership obviously is a problem. Just saying that it's always blame the players first. Which yeah, players deserve criticism for sure. But we need to make sure, like, hey, what's the biggest issue? Because the guys that are getting paid a good chunk of money upstairs and never have to reveal their faces to the media and don't have to answer for their sins, they don't get blamed. Is Javon Carter hurt or something? I feel like I haven't seen him. He's played. He hasn't been as impactful, I will say, as like Torrey Craig has been. So tonight, Carter played. Carter is struggling from the 3-point line so far. I don't expect that to continue, but I mean, he played 12 minutes, 0 for 2. I think Billy kind of was like, we're not gonna. He kind of saw Javon was struggling in a sense, so he was really heavily dependent on Kobe tonight. And also Io got some minutes, so that cut into Carter's time, which I said that Io should get minutes, and I'm happy he did. Io deserves minutes, so Carter's healthy. I mean, Box, I agree with everything you just said. I'm trying to help, you know, if Jerry's going to still be Jerry, right? Like this is the other thing I want to make it clear. Jerry's the biggest issue, okay? But there are many teams in the NBA, okay, that did not rebuild, that did not have any luxury tax to work with, and they still make a good team, right? I mean, think about the Miami Heat when after LeBron left, they didn't hit the rebuild button, right? They never hit the rebuild button. They decided that we're gonna play things out, and they didn't go into the tax, but they then made a good team, right? They didn't hit the rebuild button. They just straight up went to being a good team. So I see teams out here that I'm like, hey, they don't have luxury tax, you know, luxuries, right? They don't have an owner that wants to go into that is willing to go to the luxury tax. They don't have as much money to spend, okay? And they also don't have the best assets in the world. And yet I see them still able to figure things out. So yeah, Jerry's being a piece of crap, okay? But it's also then on the ownership, or sorry, the management in the front office to figure out, okay, here's what I'm dealt. Here are the cards that I'm dealt. How do I make the most of it, right? That's the point I'm trying to get to. Like, this front office so far has not made good decisions. Straight up. The front office decision made by the ownership is ownership fails in the decision, then the front office fails to bring coach that close to the roster to make the correct changes. Yeah, kind of chain reaction. Oh, 100%. It's how it goes, right? So that's the whole point I'm trying to get to, right? Like, let's see here. I'm curious because like I don't even remember the teams that were even in the tax last season, but like let's watch it. What's New York at? Like New York's not in the tax, right? Now look, I don't think New York's like in the best like situation right now because I think that they're still like they don't have like a number one option, and arguably I don't even know if they have like a truly number two option, but they brought in really good role players, right? And they brought in guys that fit around their main guys, and Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, right? That's really good overall stuff from New York. Now, New York has not had a good track record of this, right? New York has had terrible track records of being a terrible job at management. They make terrible decisions. They make terrible teams, right? But New York's not in. They're not in the luxury tax, and yet they're gonna, in my opinion, they're gonna be better than the Bulls. But we'll see. But I just see a better overall team and overall structure for the Knicks. So, and remember, like I guess the Knicks technically did rebuild, but their guy that they drafted was RJ Barrett, right? It wasn't like they got someone significant. They didn't get Zion, they didn't get Ja, like they didn't get anybody really in like their rebuild stuff, right? So it just shows to me that you can do this without hitting the rebuild button, without the luxury tax. You can still make a really good, solid team. And here we go. I miss Tibbs. Yeah, I will say that I gave Tibbs too much criticism when he was here, but yeah, Tibbs still has some issues that I think he needs to work out, and not just playing guys to the ground in the regular season, but honestly, it'd be interesting to see if Tibbs was the coach right now of the Bulls and see how it would work out compared to how Billy Donovan's doing. I would just like to see it. I'm not saying it'd be perfect, but I would just like to see it. Okay. I dropped frames again. I see boxes typing. Can you guys just give me another thumbs up just to make sure I'm still streaming? Because YouTube's saying it's not getting enough bit rate. Running starts to the ground, but it's not like we had a great bench. I mean, when Tibbs was here, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this team did not have a great bench. The management did not give Tibbs anything in terms of a bench. Yeah. You're good. Thank you, Box. Not sure what's going on tonight. I'm getting like random drops in frames, which I don't even know if it's noticeable. It's like I dropped like 31 frames earlier, and then like, I dropped like another like 40 frames, but it's like it stopped really quickly, so it looks like I'm stabilizing pretty well. But yeah, that's it would be something I would like to just kind of see. I know it's impossible to do, but like how would Tibbs do with this team instead of what Billy's doing with this team currently? Now look, I will say this, it's not this entire stuff, like all like the problems with this team, it's not all on Billy either. Like this team, like I said, it's not built well. The roster's all messed up, the structure is screwed, the core, it doesn't make any sense. So it's not all on Billy, right? I do think that there are things that Billy has not done well, but it shouldn't, the blame shouldn't be fully on Billy. It is 100% still on the front office to be making better decisions, and they haven't done that yet. The front office needs to do better and answer. And we'll see. I mean, this might be the year where things actually do change, and we're not stuck with Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic as the main guys moving forward altogether. All right. One last look at the games today, because I just want to look at it. Denver beat the Grizzlies. I don't know how the Grizzlies are really going to do without Ja for the first 25. That's going to really suck for them. So Celtics beat the Heat. So Celtics are now 2-0. They just barely beat the Knicks. This game happened. I want to just check the box score of this one. I'm gonna watch the highlights of this one later. But Wembanyama finally was able to play in this game. He was in foul trouble in his debut. Better game from him overall. Still not great shooting wise. And then Rockets, I don't even know how you lost this one, honestly. You shot 52% from the field, and you lost. They didn't shoot enough threes, straight up. I don't know. That's interesting that the Rockets lost this one. I feel like they should have won this, but interesting. Good job by the Spurs. And then this game happened. Luka just put up a 49, 10, and 7 line, and it's just like, yep, another day in the office. 49, 10, and 7. That's insane, man. I don't know how Luka does this stuff. I think this is honestly like the first year in a while for me when I like Luka actually like looks like he looks in shape to start the season, because like Luka would like he would have some like really good games, but it doesn't seem like he's 100%. Like this actually like this is like looks like the year where he like really looks like he's in shape to start the year, so that's a really good sign. Not the greatest game from Kyrie Irving. Cam Thomas though with the big. Is this like his? I think this is his second game where it's like he's like leading the team in scoring. Yeah, I mean this game he just 36 points in the first game, but they lost. So yeah, crazy. You see that Wemby stat line from the Stadium's exact same line as TheSlamDuncan? I did. I'm telling you, man, it's literally the prophecy. It's perfect. And so you know what's gonna happen, right? So. Oh, sorry. Sorry, man. I don't know why my nose is doing this today. I had surgery, and I haven't had this issue since the surgery on my nose, and now it's happening. So, maybe it's just bad day. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen that Wemby's gonna be playing 20 years. Okay, he's gonna win 2 MVPs. He's gonna win 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, and make all defensive team 15 times or whatever it is. Like it's just gonna be the same thing as TheSlamDuncan. It's gonna happen. Like it genuinely will. So I just find it hilarious that it San Antonio basically like once every 25 years is gonna get like a really good power forward and #1 overall pick, and they're just gonna win 5 championships in the next 20 years. Nice rebounding and the tanking team versus playoff team that went into winning the chip next season. Checking in last minute. What's going on, Taro? How you doing? Crazy Bulls game, right? I'm sure you saw. Did you watch the game? Because it was an insane day. I was losing my mind. As just a basketball fan, I was losing my mind when I was watching the end of the game today. But then sorry, you're gonna hear a noise. Oh no, you're not actually. Cool. But I'm glad the Bulls won. I just if you're a Raptors fan, I'd be really pissed if I was a Raptors fan right now. Okay, so one last thing before I go ahead and end stream here. I want to do like a little fun thing. Sorry. Couple of things I want to announce here. Okay. Doing good. Working overnight shift. I wasn't able to watch the last 4 minutes of OT. Oh, gotcha. Oh my god. You missed the most insane stuff. Some of the Bulls won. But yeah, all I'm gonna say is if you're gonna go watch the last 4 minutes in overtime, just be prepared to be mentally you're just gonna feel like your brain is exploding watching what happened. It's good for the Bulls overall. There was some stuff for the Bulls that wasn't great, but the Raptors were basically just saying, here's the game to the Bulls, and somehow the Bulls didn't win it in regulation. Sorry about my nose, man. I'm a little upset about this because I did have a surgery to help prevent this stuff, but it's not working right now. Yeah, I won't explain it all. I was actually, but I don't know. So I just kind of let stream just kind of do its thing. I kind of see where it goes. I don't always like to have. I have things scheduled in my head always in case if maybe not everyone's here. But my plan was initially that I was actually gonna go over the last like 2 minutes of regulation and then the entire overtime with you guys and just watch it and like pause, stop, and just be like, what the hell is happening? But probably best I don't do that because we have more things to discuss, obviously. So before I end stream, I want to do something fun with you guys. First off, if you haven't already, I appreciate it if you hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. I truly do appreciate the support, guys. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're 80 away. So once I get to 1,000, it's gonna help this channel a ton. So thank you guys a lot for the support, and hopefully get to 1,000 soon here. I'm gonna pull up this here. Okay. I know some of you were not here last stream. Okay, but last stream, what I decided to do on stream was I did like an NBA quiz. So last stream here, I'm gonna pull it up. Basically though, the quiz was it was on Sporkle, and it was I had to name the start like the players that started the most games for all 30 teams in the 2013-14 season. So I did a fun little quiz. So this was basically the starters for each team from 10 years ago, right? So I'm planning on if I'm continuing to do the streaming stuff on this channel, I'm planning on continuing to do this like every single year at the start of the season. Where, all right, so like next season, you know, it's the 2024-25 season. Then I'm going to be doing the 2014-15 quiz for during the stream. So this was the quiz though. I actually got 100 out of 150. I did a lot better than I thought I would because I was like, oh man, it's gonna be tough, but I did a lot better than I thought. This is like the first year I actually like, really tuned into watching basketball, so I'm pretty proud of myself because I was able to remember a lot of guys. But if you have not already, I would recommend checking this out if you want to see me do the specific if you want to see me do and like play along with the quiz, then I'll link it here right now. But go ahead and watch it. I think it's a fun little thing to go ahead and watch if you haven't already. I don't know what's going on with my screen today. Sorry about this. But I wanted to do something else, you know, something similar, if you guys wouldn't mind, to end stream tonight. So turning the game off, then I asked my iPhone what the score was, and I saw it, and I was shocked. I don't blame you, man. I was shocked the Bulls even had a shot at it. Like I thought it was just straight up over, but they did it. But so we can do a couple of things. So like if you guys know Wordle, there's like an NBA version of it. We could do that, or if you guys, if anyone has like a fun quiz from Sporkle, that you want me to do, I can also go ahead and do that too, on here. And I forget, it's not or yeah, I can also do Immaculate Grid with you guys, because I haven't done that today yet. So if anyone has a recommendation for a Sporkle quiz, I'm willing to do it right now. If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and do like the NBA like Wordle of the day, just to see how long it takes me to get there. Other thing before I do that though, so I have talked about the gaming channel that I do want to start. I'm still kind of in the process of what I exactly want to do. Maybe you guys can help kind of input on this for me. Part of me actually wants to, if I like do sort of games, like if I'm playing like either NBA 2K or if I'm playing like potentially Valorant or potentially Minecraft. Part of me, so like I'm definitely gonna be making like a separate channel for like just the videos for that. But in terms of streaming though, I'm thinking of also like potentially streaming on Twitch for the games, but also streaming on YouTube. I would not be streaming on this channel, it would be a different channel if I was streaming on YouTube, but that is kind of like, I'm just kind of debating things right now between it all. So you guys let me know if you have any ideas for that, on what you prefer, because I just know Twitch's UI right now is not great, but it is the main streaming place. I like YouTube. I like YouTube a lot. I think YouTube streaming is really good. I have seen streaming on Twitch, and it's not exactly what I would like, but I also understand why people would like it. So just give me, sorry, pushing music and things won't load. Oh my god. ad blocker work. There we go. But, alright, I want to go ahead and do this here with you guys. NBA. So, we're going to do Pirtle, because this is like the NBA Wordle, okay? And let's see. So don't spoil this for me, guys. If you've done the Pirtle for today, then don't spoil it. But let's go ahead and try to figure this out. Let's see here. Have a good night. You too, Zay. Over. Have a good night. Okay, so typically, so you just start with any NBA or any NBA player. I'm just trying to think of someone that I think would be a good guess, and my first person is just Harrison Barnes. Let's just go with Harrison Barnes. So the way that we do this with Pirtle, you have to kind of look at all the hints given to you. So clearly he doesn't play for Sacramento. This is the player that is actually the player for Pirtle today, but they are in the Western Conference. They're not in the Pacific Division. They do not play the forward position. They are shorter, they're younger, and they have a much lower jersey number. So probably a guard, right? We're looking probably a guard because they're not forward and they're shorter. And someone that's obviously younger, but not in the Pacific Division, but out west. So let's just see here. I'm just gonna go to Western Conference standings and just kind of look at some things here. First person in my mind for some reason, but I don't. That's not right because the division's not correct. Because I was thinking. Oh, actually, wait. Actually, no, that is correct. I could do this guy. Shadon Sharp is the guy that I just randomly thought of, and it is pretty close here. So we're in the Northwest Division. He is a guard. He's a little bit shorter. He's than 6'5", but he's older than 20. Lower jersey number, so it's lower than 17. So we know that's lower than 40, obviously lower than 17. Not Portland, obviously. So we look at over here in terms of the Northwest Division. We're looking at the Nuggets, Thunder, Jazz, Timberwolves. Someone from these four teams here. Okay, so shorter than 6'5". They're older than 20. This is actually not exactly easy. Jersey number is lower than 17. Lou Dort. Okay, so they are exactly 6'4". Their number is 5, and they play in the Northwest Division. So now we're down to it's not OKC, it's not Portland, so it's Denver. I never remember divisions. It's Denver, Utah, or the Timberwolves. Okay, number 5, and they're younger than 24, but they're older than 20. Isn't this just Anthony Edwards? Oh, Anthony Edwards was 1. Oh, I'm so stupid. No. Sorry, but they're exactly 22 years old. Sorry, I thought Anthony Edwards was 5 for some reason. So it's not the Timberwolves then. Keontae? Is it Keontae Johnson? Or Keontae George? No. Oh. We now know it. I know who it is now. It has to be Taylor Horton Tucker, right? Yeah, it has to be Taylor Horton Tucker. So yeah, sorry, Keontae George. Sorry, I don't know why I thought Keontae Johnson. Keontae George is number 3, but Taylor Horton Tucker is number 5. There we go. There we go. So there it is. Taylor Horton Tucker is your Pirtle of the day. That's cool. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, hold on. I don't understand why this is happening. I'm actually just gonna turn off my I'm gonna turn off my epic pen. Maybe that's what's happening. Oh, crap. Sorry, hold on. Okay, hi. Sorry, I'm back. I accidentally closed Chrome, so I shut down the stream. That's my fault. I'm so sorry. All right, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I do apologize for that. I am ending stream soon anyway, so I guess not the biggest deal in the world here. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to give up my music back. Okay. Hold on. Testing. Okay, cool. We should be back up and running. If not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, cool. We should be back up and running. Alright, sorry. Just want to make sure that we're up and running again. Okay. That's the pearl for the day. And then, I want to see this here. Sorry, hold on.
It's something like a shadow in the valley, colossal. Open up your eyes, young one, and be watchful. Behind closed doors, trying to write a new gospel. They are not God, they're not even apostles. I come with the dumb drum banging you breathless. Enemies freeze, left bent and defenseless. Straight for the jest of anybody against us. The more they resist it, the more that they tempt us.
I'm trying to find a specific quiz, but I don't know why I can't find it. Ooh, okay, yeah, here we go. All right, I am seriously gonna be testing where people are. I think. Actually, hold on. I want it low. Oh, that's not good. Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I was trying to find like the opening night thing for like the opening night specific lineups, but I guess those just don't exist. All right, I guess we don't. I guess we're not gonna do it. 20. What? NBA opening night lineups. Oracle 2013. Sorry, 2014. Oh, okay. No, they do have it. I'm just stupid. Can I do this though? Because I did do the other one, so I might not. Might not do it then. It's probably not gonna be that fun. What is this? That's a stupid quiz. Okay, king quiz maybe. Is this updated? Okay, you know what? We'll just do this chain quiz because I think this could be a fun one. All right, I like doing these Sporkle things because it actually is like really fun to kind of like go through it all. All right, so Sporkle quiz. It's 10 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and click the NBA to start. I don't think I've ever done this one. Let's see. So NBA was won in 2019 by, oh god, it was the Toronto Raptors year. Carried by Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard, who was drafted by Pacers in 20. Oh god, what was it? 2011. 2011 pick. Okay, yeah, pick number 15. They pick us this MVP. Where's Giannis Antetokounmpo? Okay, won the MVP award in 2019. Same year as this player retired. Oh god. I mean, it has to be Dwayne Wade, right? It's not Kobe. It's not Lowry, obviously. I don't know about Aaron Baines though. That's a big question mark to me. I think Wade retired in 2019. Yeah. Okay. We want a gold medal in 20. Oh no, dang! It's Yeah, my bad. Okay. I see. It's instead of sorry, instead of the year, right? They want so I don't actually remember where this was. Wait, what? Wasn't it? Oh, it's 2008. Never mind. No, I'm wrong. My bad. Hold on. We're gonna redo this. Okay. I won 2019 by the Toronto Raptors, carried by Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard, who was drafted by the Indiana Pacers in the 2011 draft with pick number 15. Same pick as his MVP as Giannis Antetokounmpo, who won the MVP award in 2019. Same year as this player retired, who won the gold Olympic medal in 2008. Captain of that team was it Kobe? It had to be Kobe, right? Kobe Bryant, who was born in which city? Nope, not New Zealand. Man, I don't remember where Kobe was born, and I feel so stupid. Where was Kobe born? Oh, was it Philadelphia? Oh my god. All right, last try. At this point, it might be just. Let's see here. Honest. Wait. Help me out, if you can. I get the only other city is Philadelphia. It's not even spelled right. That's be this? No, I don't know where. What? Capital City Go-Go? That's the only other option, right? What? I'm so confused. I do apologize. What? I'm just dumb, I guess. Okay. At 15, honest. 2019. Wait. Kobe. Capital City Go-Go? Is this really it? No. I guess I'm just stupid. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this one. What? I clicked Philly though. What? Is this thing just stupid? Average score 25%. Isn't this just wrong? What? I clicked Philly before. Okay, never mind. Same place as this 2019 NBA champion, Kyle Lowry, who was arrested in, oh my god, I don't remember which year. And no, it was 12, of course. All right, moving on. Next, please. I feel dumb. Nope. Okay, this is not NBA. Crap. I'm gonna do at least like one fun quiz here that I think would be really good to end the day with. But let's see here. Oh wait, actually, can we do this one? Let's do MVP awards. Let's see this. Okay, practice mode. What is this? Can you quickly enter the number of most valuable player awards won by each player? See how to play. Oh god. Christ. No, I could never do this. I know some by heart, but like, I couldn't do this for everybody. Yeah, we're not gonna do this. I'm gonna feel dumb when I do this. It's not gonna do it. One more. Let me look at one more time here. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'd be a bad streamer right now, and I know, but I'm also tired. I can't continuously just be talking all the time. My God, there's a quiz that just does the Bulls starting lineup since like 1981. You just do every single starting lineup. Oh God, can I do this? Okay, I'm actually gonna do this, but I already know. So like, I started watching the NBA in like, 2012-13 is my first season, but I wasn't like fully invested. But 2013-14 was the first season I was like fully invested. So I'm not gonna get a lot of these like early on, but I want to see how many I can get. Wait. How long ago was this? Because the earliest 2006, 12. What? Oh no, this is good then. We actually see there's another one that's like similar to this where it does like all like the more recent stuff. Bulls and oh yeah, here's recent. Okay, cool. I like this one. All right, my goal is to get all of these here. Okay, we're gonna try to get like all of these in this area here. Because this is updated up to last season. So let's go ahead and try this because I'm not gonna get this stuff. So the main goal is to get these stuff here. And we'll call it a night after this because I know it's late and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. We still have people watching. You know, I just did a terrible job just kind of AFKing for a bit there, but let's go ahead and do this. I think this will be fun. All right. So, like I said, we're starting in this area here. Dang is obviously one. Boozer. I'm gonna guess Noah was the third there. 2013-14 season. I know Gibson was higher. I'm pretty sure Butler was also on this list. August, I think, was this the Augustin year? Yeah, this is DJ Augustin was the team leading scorer this season with 14.9 off the bench. This was just so bad. I think Heinrich was the last. No, never mind. Was this Dunleavy? Was it? Yeah, okay. Once I get through all this, then I'm gonna go up and try to get the others. 2014-2015. Butler, Rose. Was this Pau Gasol? Yeah, Pau Gasol is here. Taj Gibson. Oh God. Okay. Mirotic. 11.6 for the Bulls this season, 2014-15. We have Rose. We have Gasol. We have Butler. Not Noah. No, wait, it's Aaron. Oh my God, Aaron Brooks averaged. Oh my, I didn't even know that. That's interesting to me. Okay, so Aaron Brooks that season had like a really good year. So I have all of this season as well. 2016-17 season. So this was the Butler Wade. This was no, not Rondo. Sorry. Rondo didn't do well enough. Lopez, Robin Lopez, Taj Gibson, Nikola Mirotic. I'm gonna guess it was Portis as the other. Nope, never mind. Ah. Robin Lopez. Don't tell me it was Tony. No, Tony Snow wasn't on the team anymore at this point. Because you got trade for Michael Carter Williams. I don't know who this other person is actually. So it's Butler, Wade, Gibson, Heritage. I tried Rondo, so it's not Rondo. What? Oh my god, this is such a year that was just so terrible to watch. Also. I'm forgetting someone obvious, of course. Alright, move on. 2017, 2018. This is the marketing year. Dunn also. Bobby Portis. Don't oh my god, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think Paul Zips are ever. Not unless. The Jerian Grant? No. Okay. Oh my god, this is the middle of the rebuild, and this year sucks so bad. Oh my god. I'm trying to remember back to who was playing at this point for his team. Oh my god, Denzel Valentine 100% is on this list. Yeah. Justin Holiday. There we go. Zach LaVine, Larry Markkinen, Justin Holiday, Chris Dunn. What? I don't. Oh my god. There's a third scorer on this team. God, man. I just people have years that I don't remember, unfortunately. 2019, 2020. So okay, so Thaddeus Young's on this list. Was Satoransky somehow on this? Oh my god. This doesn't count. Sorry, no. 2019, 2020. Oh my god, bro. I'm blanking hard on this. Okay, hold on. 2020, 2021. So Vucevic came in. I remember this. 15.9. Okay, I'm don't wait Garrett Temple in this, and then I don't think they put in Carter Jr. Oh my god. Okay, wait, no, they actually did count him. Okay, so Wendell Carter was there. Hold on, let me just get the other obvious ones here. Kobe White. Lonzo Ball. Last season at 10.2 points per game. That had to be Patrick Williams. Okay. Oh, that was Kobe for these two seasons. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay. 2018, 2019. Why can't I remember this? It was LaVine, Markkinen, then just gone from my memory. I'm just shocked it wasn't Justin Holiday. The 2016-17 season is also pissing me off right now because I can't think of who else it would be. Oh my god. Jabari Parker is this one. Okay, I got that. What is this? Because this was the starting lineup besides Rondo. Doug McDermott. Okay, I got everything I wanted to get. I won't get this stuff here, unfortunately. Cause like CJ. Oh my god, CJ Watson wasn't on this list. 720. No. Cool. I don't remember 2011, 2012 at all because I didn't watch this. This was Rip Hamilton that year. 2009, 2010. Jesus Christ. Brad Miller was somewhere around here. I'm just going through names. Oh no, not Chandler, not Tyson Chandler. Crap. I'm just kind of naming some names here, just like random names that I'm like, yeah, they definitely did something, but like these are years I don't know, unfortunately. I'm gonna guess like James Johnson had a year or something. Nope. Okay, I guess not. Yeah, I don't know these years for the Bulls, unfortunately. This was the first year for me. I knew all this, but yeah, this is tough for me, unfortunately. So I'm cool with this. I'll go ahead and just reveal the rest of this. I don't know. I could probably, if I really thought hard about this, but I could definitely get it. But all right, Ron Artest, yeah. Ben Gordon, Jesus. I should have got Ben Gordon. John Salmons, yeah. Drew Gooden, Jesus Christ. This season was crazy. Ben Gordon, John Salmons, you had Rose, Drew Gooden. You had all these guys. Jesus Christ, wow. Bro, I was so upset at myself that I couldn't get these initially. I was like, what the heck? I'm missing a person in here? I completely forgot that Jabari Parker played for the Bulls, man. That just completely just like went out my mind because he got traded that same season. And I was actually interested because like I didn't know if they would put Otto Porter in this. They didn't, so I guess that didn't count for them. But yeah, Jabari Parker was on the Bulls for that 1 year, which I thought that would work out a lot better, but it didn't. And then Doug McDermott in that 2016-17 season, where that was a crazy year. Bunch of like you want to talk about like team meetings and players lashing out to the media. Like that was that year. It just constantly like we had the Butler Wade situation where they both came out and just started ranting to the media, and then you had Rajon Rondo responding on Instagram, and that was just such a terrible year overall. Could have worked out better, I'll say. But yeah, this is the these years here, man. This was the terrible years. Like this season, like when Zach wasn't, he was healthy for like 23 games this season, so he doesn't count. But this was so bad to watch. And this year Zach was relatively healthy. This was also just bad to watch. And this year was also just bad to watch. This was the Boylan year. This is the first year of Billy Donovan being here. But I remember this all. I remember all this. This is stuff that I do remember. And this team probably should have been better. And then I think it was this team didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, this team didn't make the playoffs, and this is when like they like changed up a bunch of things. And Noah was injured and stuff like that. This team did not make the playoffs. They were 40 and 42. Or sorry, they were 42 and 40 and 40. And they didn't make the playoffs. But then they made the playoffs this year as 41-41, and then they hit the rebuild button. And hey, look, rebuild for 1, 2, 3 seasons, and you didn't get anywhere, and you get out of the rebuild. This is where we're at now. But I know these guys, like I know like Nocioni and stuff, but like they're not at the very top of my head. I should have got Ben Gordon 100% though. I'm so sorry, Ben Gordon. Nocioni, Eddie Curry, Jamal Crawford. Forgot he was on the Bulls for that year. Yeah. All right, that's a cool way just to end it. I got 75%. That's crazy, actually. I didn't think I get 75%, but I guess just the years I watched, 75%. All right, good way to end the stream. Sorry it took me so long. I had a thing in mind that I was like, I want to do like this really cool chain quiz, and then I don't know if it even exists anymore. But yeah, I'll be more prepared next time to do kind of something a little bit fun to kind of end the stream. Now that when like we're kind of done talking about what happened tonight, I know it's now close to 1 o'clock. So this will be the end of the stream now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Again, if you haven't hit the like button on the stream, I truly appreciate if you did. It helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel and like Bulls content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Bulls play the Detroit Pistons tomorrow. I will be streaming after the game tomorrow. Probably won't be as long of a stream. This is like a 3-hour stream. So be prepared for tomorrow. The Bulls take on the Pistons. I don't expect, I honestly think the Bulls are at a severe disadvantage in this game because of the OT and they have to travel to Detroit. So we'll see how this all works out. But I think Detroit's also traveling, if I'm not mistaken, and they're coming from Charlotte. Yeah, so both teams are traveling in. We'll see how this works out. But the Bulls just played an OT game, so I don't think the Bulls are going to be doing pretty well. But let's hope the shooting kind of wakes up for the Bulls in this next game, because it needs to. And law of averages basically says the Bulls are going to shoot better. So let's hope the Bulls do shoot better in this game moving forward, and moving forward throughout the rest of the season. And hopefully Zach plays better and everyone else honestly just plays better. If it wasn't for DeRozan and Alex Caruso and Torrey Craig today, Bulls wouldn't have won. So the others need to step up and actually play much better in this game. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Long stream, had a lot of fun with you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.